2014 and Bydgoszcz, Poland, where against the odds Team Denmark win the Monster Energy Speedway World Cup in one of the best finals ever seen in the competition's history after they broke Polish hearts in a last lap, last corner overtaking manoeuvre by Denmark's captain Niels Christian Iversen. 2015 and Poland start their campaign to regain the title on home soil in Gniezno, Poland, where they faced Russia, Czech Republic and Sweden. It was a bad start for the home nation though, as this crash saw their captain and talisman Jarek Campbell break his leg in 2 places, leading the Poles to race with just 3 men for the rest of the meeting. Despite the support of the home crowd and an early lead, the Polish side were unable to hold off Team Sweden, led by Andreas Jonsson, as the Swedes eventually tied up the meeting to progress directly through to the final, with the Poles being joined by Russia in the race-off. Event 2, Kings Lynn in the east of England, where home nation Great Britain took on Australia, Latvia and the USA. It was always going to be a battle between Team GB and the Maroons to see who would join Denmark and Sweden direct in the final. Team USA, led by current world champion Greg Hancock, battled hard, but always ran a competitive third, whilst Latvia failed to show the promise they showed in the competition 12 months earlier. Going into the final 4 heats, Australia led Great Britain by just 1 point, but wins by Morris, Batchelor and Doyle saw the confident Aussies win the meeting by 4 points and progress directly into the final, much to the delight of the captain, Chris Holder.
We all scored quite good. Nick Morris, hat off to him for his first go here, and he was one of our top dogs tonight, so fair play to him. And Doyle, Troy did a job as well, so we're stoked to go through to the final now.
So the 2015 Monster Energy World Cup moves to Vojens, Denmark for the race-off and final. Tonight it sees Team Great Britain face 6-time World Cup champions Poland, the USA side led by Greg Hancock, and a competitive Russian side to see who will meet in Saturday's final against Australia, Sweden and the hosts Denmark.
Hi there, good evening and a very warm welcome to a glorious sunny evening here in Denmark. We're in the Vojens Speedway Centre, and it is win or bust tonight for 4 Speedway nations. Only the winners here go through to Saturday's Monster Energy Speedway World Cup final. We have the United States, Poland, Russia and Great Britain. Kelvin Tatum is alongside me, as always, here in the commentary box this evening. And Kelvin, a lot of pressure on this meeting because only the winners go through to Saturday.
Yes, it's changed in recent years when just the winners with the home team being seeded to the final. Just one team going through the race-off. In previous years we've seen 2 qualifiers, and plenty of teams have actually preferred coming here to this meeting for the practice, but it's now a meeting most teams would rather avoid. No, it's a big meeting in prospect. Poland are favourites, but Team GB will be looking to put plenty of pressure on.
And there is only 1 rider in the missing in the Russian side. Only 3 riders for the Russians today. Just to explain the situation there, we have a scenario where Emil Sayfutdinov and Artem Laguta have actually medical certificates have been supplied for them. Grigory Laguta has broken down in Latvia, and the FIM are not happy with this scenario and will be investigating it thoroughly. Riders on their way out here for the race-off.
Yeah, big heat number 1. It's an important night, as we've already said, but there's a clash of the big guns right from the word go here. We've got Ty Wolfenden from Team GB going off the outside, and Maciej Janowski from Poland going from gate 2 in the opening race. That could be quite a tasty affair. Got to believe that Russia are going to be really struggling with only 3 representatives here, which is desperately disappointing for them. And young Max Rummel coming up here, the young American who is really enjoying his World Cup and gaining valuable experience every time he comes out on track.
So here we go then, 3 points for a win, 2 for second, 1 for third, and nothing for finishing last. It is a high-octane, high-pressured situation here. Decent crowd as well, considering there's no host nation here in Vojens. Well, the riders are ready. Hope you're ready. Let's enjoy the action coming right up. A sizzling night of speedway ahead. Andrei Kudryshov for Russia going off the inside in white. Maciej Janowski goes off gate number 2 in blue for Poland. Max Rummel for the USA off 3 in red. And Ty Woffenden, the current World Individual Championship leader, goes off the outside. This place has fond memories for Woffenden. He made his World Cup debut for Great Britain here in 2008, 7 years ago now, when he was 17 years of age. Can Great Britain make a winning start here? On gate number 4, Woffenden's the man they need to respond here. And it's a good start for Janowski on 2. And Woffenden switches up the inside. He made a beautifully calculated move there. Janowski's coming back for more though. But Ty Woffenden, from the outside gate, did his usual trick. He looked on the inside, spotted the opportunity, and what a wonderful move it was at the inside.
Yeah, fabulous move that was. A split-second decision from the World Championship leader. Brilliant move to get the better of Janowski, who's now giving chase. Moons of dust, in actual fact. It is a gorgeous evening. It doesn't feel like 7 o'clock, it feels like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But Woffenden dynamite in the first corner and looks pretty comfortable out in front. Janowski giving chase. I believe the other 2 boys are tailed off.
Looks like a winning start for Team Great Britain here tonight then. Ty Woffenden down the back straight he goes, looking comfortable. Janowski in second spot as well. 2 distinctive sides here. Great Britain and Poland well clear of Russia and the USA. And that is how it's finished in the first race of the night. Always going to be tough for young Max Rummel of the USA. They have brought Brock Nicol across with them, the son of Doug Nicol as well. A fair amount of British fans that have made the journey out here to Denmark for this World Cup competition as well. They're on the 3rd turn and they're delighted too. Great to see some British fans out here for the World Cup, and a great move from Ty Woffenden in the first race of the night to give Britain the lead after the first heat. And what a move it was. Woffenden, Janowski, Kudryashov and Rummel, the finishing order, heat number 1, and Woffenden from gate 4 used all his experience that he has now under his belt, looked at the riders around him and calculated his move to perfection. Super stuff.
It was super stuff, and he didn't quite get the jump he was requiring because Janowski and the boys on the inside actually got away a little better. It is a long way. Track's slicker than it was earlier today when they practiced, but he makes that decision to go straight to the inside, and it works a treat. Gets the better of Janowski. Fair play to Janowski. He certainly charges hard in second place. There wasn't too much to choose between them. Here you see his sneaky look over his left shoulder and just switches to the inside. There's a little bit of room and he takes full advantage and rides nicely out in front to get Team Great Britain off to the perfect start. Janowski charges hard, and no surprise to see him in second place, but that man out in front is in terrific form.
Certainly is. And we've had a world champion in heat 1. We've got a world champion coming up in heat number 2 as well. The evergreen Greg Hancock for the USA will be going off gate number 2 in red here. Only 3 Grand Prix have been completed this year, remember, so there's still 9 to go. The World Cup is a month early this year, so when we finish here on Saturday night, we've got another 3 weeks before Cardiff and the British Grand Prix. A long way to go in the World Individual Championship after this World Cup break as well, so plenty of speedway ahead.
Certainly is, and Cardiff will be a real super event, of course, but as you rightly say, so many points still available for the World Championship. It could change shape quite quickly, but certainly Woffenden was very impressive in Prague.
Yep, and here we go with the lineup for heat number 2 then. It's Przemek Pawlicki off the inside for Poland, Greg Hancock off 2 for the USA. Danny King goes off gate 3 in yellow for Great Britain, and Vitaly Belousov for Russia going off the outside.
Interesting scenarios now, because the USA effectively are the underdogs here this evening, but Greg Hancock isn't an underdog. He's fully capable of going through the card here this evening, and it will be interesting to see how his performance affects the outcome this evening, because he can steal points away from people at vital moments. Right from the word go here, if he pops out in start, the Poles get relegated to 3rd place with King getting 2nd. You know, all sorts of scenarios can happen, so important to get off to a good start.
20 heats this meeting will be decided over, and it's a great start from the pole off the inside gate. Pawlicki is there now. Hancock tries the inside run. Danny King has been relegated to the back. It's a great ride from Pawlicki. Hancock 2nd. Now Danny King is going to challenge Vitaly Belousov for 3rd place here, and Danny King does take up 3rd spot right now. But Pawlicki, super start, and there's not many people who out-trap Greg Hancock like that.
Very unusual there from Hancock. Hancock didn't get away very well at all. He was spinning on the start line. He used all his experience in the first corner to sweep around the outside. He's getting going now. Pawlicki out in front looks pretty good. Danny King had to ride quite hard in actual fact to get the better of Belousov, and he's into 3rd place. The Poland out in front. This is a super ride from Pawlicki, but Hancock will keep him very honest.
Yeah, very much so, keeping him well and truly on his toes. He's got a lovely riding style, Pawlicki. He pulls clear down that back straight, and still King coming under a little bit of pressure at the back. Pawlicki's going to hold the inside line, and he's done enough for the victory. Hancock second, King holds on for third under a little bit of pressure from Belousov there. But that result puts Poland ahead on the night now, with a couple of races gone in this World Cup race-off. Remember, only the winners tonight go through to the final, which is also here on Saturday evening. And we know the host nation automatically through. Denmark are here on Saturday night. Sweden are here as well, with Australia and the winners of this race-off tonight. So it's all or nothing, win or bust for these sides here at the Vojens Speedway Centre right now. Pawlicki, the winner. Hancock was second. King was third. Belousov at the back. And it's a good win for Przemysław Pawlicki for the Poles. Puts them ahead by a point after 2 heats.
Yeah, super start from the inside. He would have felt the pressure, but his concentration was superb. And he flew away from the tapes. Unusual to see Greg Hancock struggling for a really good jump when the tapes go up. He spins up coming out of gate 2. That's unlike him. You can see there he's relegated to third place momentarily, but a nice corner from the American gets the better of King, who then gets relegated to the back as they go down the back straight. We see it again. King actually makes a good start there, but just gets in a slightly awkward situation there and has to lose his speed. And Belousov momentarily was in third place. Pawlicki out in front, doesn't put a wheel wrong here. That'll be a nice settling ride from him. Does a nice job. Of course, the Polish team is quite an inexperienced team, very different from the team we saw last year come second in Bydgoszcz. But here this evening, they're full of youngsters. And Marek Zizlek, once again, going for riders in form, not on their reputation.
Yep, Smarslik is the man in blue here, the Gorzów sensation. Really is great to watch. Bartosz Smarslik, he'll go off gate number 3 for Poland here. Britain's representative is Robert Lambert, going off the outside gate in yellow, 17 years of age. Much like Ty Woffenden when he was 17, has made his World Cup debut in 2008. Yes. Lambert made his debut on Monday at King's Lynn and acquitted himself well, and even passed the world champion Greg Hancock in that meeting on Monday. Bit of nerves as he touched the tapes in one of the races, but did himself proud. Heat number 3, Ryan Fisher off the inside, Rydyka Furov off 2, Bartosz Smarslik off gate 3 in blue, and Robert Lambert going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Lambert did pretty good on Monday night. This is another test for him. He'll be very keen to get amongst the points. Not easy coming from the outside. It's slick out there this evening, and he'll have to make a really good jump or make that sort of first corner move that Woffenden did in his opening ride. Smarslik's going to be a danger on gate 3.
Yep, here we go, and Smarslik has been left standing at the tapes there, and it's the red lights have come on straight away. Maybe a little bit of movement, which perhaps put Smarslik off, because I thought he was just left standing at the tapes there.
I don't think so. He would have been looking to his right, so he would have been looking at Lambert. It was Gefurov, if anything, that... yeah, he's a bit sharp away. I think he's a bit harshly done by there. Christian Froschauer, the German referee there, calling it back, but Gefurov makes a really good start. Probably feels that he's a bit hard done by there.
Well, a sign perhaps of the pressure of this meeting here tonight. Glorious hot evening. Vojens has a reputation as the wettest place on earth for Speedway, but here tonight it is absolutely glorious.
I can testify that. I came here every year for about 20 years and never saw the sunshine.
Yeah, you've ridden here many times.
Yeah, I have indeed, but this evening it's absolutely beautiful, and I've got to say it's a gorgeous evening to be out and an ideal night to be watching Speedway live. But yeah, it's going to develop this meeting. Track's certainly slicker than it was when they practiced at midday, so 1 or 2 tweaks to the kit just to get it dialed in. Won't take long, just a ride each, I'm sure. But Robert Lambert there receiving plenty of attention while they're getting ready to go. But you're right about Robert Lambert. The comparison between him and Ty Woffenden is a good one. Both 17 when they came into the World Cup squad, very young. But Lambert's a rider that you do have to believe that he's going to be the future for British Speedway. He's got plenty of talent. He's moving the right way, and he seems very serious about the job, desperate to do well.
Yeah. Vojens with a great Speedway tradition. It's had world finals. Actually, this place held the last ever one-off world final back in 1994. And they used to hold what was effectively the World Final revenge meeting, didn't they, Kel? So what was it, about a week after the World Final?
Yeah, shortly after
the following Friday, I think.
Yeah,
it was,
shortly after the World Final, you'd have that in September, and it was possibly even stronger than the World Final field. I mean, it was a terrific night, and to win on the occasion here almost felt like winning.
Was
the
there
World
big money in that
Championship.
as well?
There was big prizes, cars up for prizes as well at some early stages. Gold bar it was called, and if you won it 3 times you actually got to keep it.
I'm hearing that you only ever won a chocolate bar.
Thanks very much, Nige. They had 2 here, but the Australians are in town. No doubt about it. I did actually manage to win the gold bar.
Did you? I wasn't aware of that,
Kelvin. Just to put you straight.
I thought I'd give you the opportunity to tell us.
Thank you, Nigel.
Here we go. Heat number 3 of the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup. Second time of asking. Take tries this time, no problem. And away from the start again, Gafurov is there. And Lambert sweeps around the outside for Great Britain. Now he's going to put pressure on the Russian. Gafurov down the back straight. Here comes Lambert!
Oh, brilliant move from Robbie Lambert. Round the outside, then got back to the inside down the back straight. Fabulous move from him. He's into the lead. Smarslik now, he could be a danger in second place. He's got himself there. Lambert's got speed, looking good out in front, but there's no question that Smarslik will be a threat. But Lambert, fabulous in the opening laps.
Yeah, very smart move from Robert Lambert at 17 years of age in his first World Cup campaign. He's tearing the opposition apart in heat number 3. He is beating Bartosz Smarslik, the brilliant Polish youngster. 1 lap to go, and Team Great Britain are on the verge of going level with Poland here with a super quick ride from Robert Lambert going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. What a ride from Robert Lambert of Great Britain!
Fabulous ride there from Robert Lambert. That'll settle the nerves down beautifully. From the outside, didn't seem to make a great jump, but then had a really good run to the first corner. Swept round the outside initially, swapped to the inside, coming off the second corner on the opening lap. Got the better of Gafurov down the back straight, and by golly, that was some ride from the youngster. What a great ride that is. They've had 2 wins, Great Britain, in the opening heats.
And they are level with Poland. Going into heat number 4, after which every nation will have had 1 outing so far. What a performance from Robert Lambert. Smarslik was second, Fisher was third, ahead of Gafurov, who went from first to last there. So it's Great Britain and Poland locked together on 7 apiece, USA 3, and Russia have 1. But what a move from the brilliant British youngster Robert Lambert in heat number 3.
Oh, absolutely. He deserves all the plaudits here. That he would have been having a few butterflies in his stomach. We're looking at Smarslik, who doesn't quite get there, but Lambert just at the end, the last bit, gets that little bit of extra drive, and what a move it was to get back to the inside, and he carries plenty of speed up the inside of the Russian Gafurov, who then runs very wide. We're seeing it again. Around there, and he rides such a tidy line and shows great composure and terrific speed out in front. He'll be delighted with that. Seeing action again in the first corner. Quick thinking here, this was a rider of mature years, far more older than 17, rides lovely out of that first corner. And he'll be chuffed as, really chuffed there to have won his opening ride. 3 points to his name. Great Britain have started very solidly here this evening.
It's a very encouraging start for the British sides, no doubt about that. And heat number 4 coming up. 3 riders only. There is no Russian rider available here in the white helmet colour, so just 3 riders. And an opportunity, you feel, if Chris Harris in the yellow helmet, who had a super night on Monday at King's Lynn, if he can make the start here over Krzysztof Buszkowski and Gino Manzarek, Britain could head into the track grade ahead in this meeting. Buszkowski, Manzarek, Harris is your riding order across the grid. No rider off the outside.
No. Buszkowski on the inside, of course, coming in for the injured Jarek Hempel, or the best of Jarek Hempel. Nasty injury he sustained on Saturday last week. But Buszkowski coming in, a rider in good form.
Here we go. Oh, somebody's bike doesn't sound too good. But Chris Harris has made a beauty from 3, and he's got the drop, he's got the lead, and Buszkowski is second now. Third place in red is Gino Manzarek, but somebody's bike at the start line was making a worrying noise there. But Chris Harris has the lead, and if it stays like this, Team Great Britain will be the leaders after the first round of heats.
Wow, what a start from Chris Harris. Really is in good form this World Cup week, and he's out in front. Buszkowski didn't get there. Harris out of gate 3 does. It could be back-to-back wins for Team Great Britain. What an opening few rides they have. This could be their 3rd win in 4 races. Fabulous start from Team Great Britain. Second place, Buskowski, now beginning to make inroads to Chris Harris. Harris is going to have eyes in the back of his head here. Buskowski with a lap to go, coming on hard.
Yeah, really is piling on the pressure now. Harris is going to have to hold the inside line, you feel. That's the way, really, to clamp down the opposition. Buskowski is now going to go wide and have one last swoop around turns 3 and 4.
Oh, it's going to get close.
Here he comes down to the line. He's done him!
He's done him!
He's done him!
Oh! On the run to the line, Harris just got caught out. Buskowski kept plugging away around the inside for 3 3/4 laps. On the last lap, takes the chance, rips it round mid-track, a little bit more grip there, and steals the win away. What a ride from Buskowski. Tell you what, that'll settle his nerves coming in to feel big boots of Jarek Hampel's. What a ride that was from Buskowski when Harris looked like he had it all sewn up.
Yeah, Harris will be gutted that he let that go. It was a brilliant ride from Buskowski, though, to be fair to him. And it now means after 4 heats here in Vojens tonight, it looks like this. Poland have 10, Great Britain 9, USA 4, Russia have 1. Well, we've seen some good speedway tonight, Kelvin.
Yeah, no surprise. We often see some super speedway in the race-off, and this epitomised it once again. Great start from Harris initially. Makes a great jump out of gate 3. Stamps his authority on the first corner. Track's pretty slick. And Buskowski, to his credit, he keeps plugging away around the inside, and after sort of 3 laps, as they started the last lap, he obviously figured that, well, it's just not working on the inside. Harris isn't going to make a mistake there, and he took a chance. And as they came into the last lap, into the last corner, Buskowski just takes the chance to run a little bit wider. There's a bit of a dirt line appearing, and here we see it here. He works in a tree. The bike hooks up, slingshots off there, and snatches the win. Brilliant ride.
Yep, very much so. Heat number 5 coming up. And if the early signs are encouraging, then we could be in for a terrific night. Our Polish TV colleagues here with Maciej Janowski. Janowski, one of the leading lights really now for Poland in the changing of the guard. They're going to rely on Janowski for some big displays now, Kelvin.
Absolutely. He was riding in Britain last year where he really came of age leading the Pool Pirates to the Elite League title. And qualified as a fully-fledged Grand Prix rider now.
że zaraz zrobimy wszystko, żeby te nasze motocykle lepiej troszeczkę ze startu wychodziły, bo na razie chyba z tym mamy delikatny problem. A tak ogólnie, no do boju.
Paradoksalnie, kiedy odbywał się ten trening w samo południe, było nieco zimniej. Teraz jest trochę cieplej, ale tor lepszy niż na treningu, twardy, nie rwący się.
Maciej Janowski in Gniezno last weekend. And again, a meeting which saw Poland defeated only really for one reason. With all due respect to the Swedish guys, Jarek Hampel's crash cost Poland that meeting. Simple as that.
And I think it highlighted a weakness in the format, in truth.
Czytacie to wspólnie właśnie. Pierwszy łuk to będzie krawężnik, a w drugim łuku poodsypanym, czy potem też na pierwszym będzie można pokusić się o atak pod balonem.
Jeden zawodnik może pozwolić sobie na drugi niestety ma gdzieś tam ten motocykl ustawiony troszeczkę słabiej i ta zewnętrzna już go tak nie wyciągnie, więc mógłbym to opowiadać długo i długo, więc oszczędzę tego kibicom i mam nadzieję, że trzymacie za nas kciuki, a ja uciekam, bo już mnie tam wszyscy wołają.
Dziękuję pięknie, tyle. Maciej Janowski.
Poland will fancy their chances, no doubt, tonight. They do have a terrific lineup out there. But Great Britain, the early signs are that the British boys are going to push them every step of the way. Just to confirm where we're at after 4 heats of this meeting so far. Poland lead on 10, Great Britain on 9, with the USA 4 and Russia on 1. So it does appear the early signs are that it's going to be a straight shootout between two nations for a place in the final.
No surprise there. It was pretty easy to predict that, you know, with the inexperience of the USA team and Russia down to 3 riders. You know, Team GB and Poland were always going to be battling for the win.
Well, let's hear from Marek Cieślak now, the Polish team manager. He's with Steve Brandon.
Marek, a very solid start for your team.
Yeah, we try do our best. My guys were young boys, and I think only one guy rode Vojens before, so we are a little bit nervous at this moment, but we try to do better in next races.
the man you mentioned who has ridden here before, Krzysztof Buczkowski, a great first ride for him.
Yeah, Buczkowski, Krzysztof is in very good form at this moment, and he's a very clever rider.
And a little word from you for Jarek Hampel watching in Poland?
Yeah, we have full contact with the Jarek. Jarek give a phone call before the meeting, and he keep his cross finger, and we're going just for him.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, 5-hour operation for Jarek Hampel on the broken leg, but that he's broken in 2 places. It's a nasty injury, which you can vouch for, Kelvin.
Yes, I've broken my thigh, and it's not very pleasant at all, and had to have an operation on it, and it's going to take some time for him to get fully fit again.
Robert Lambert is with Steve Brandon.
Robert, that settled the nerves?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, it's always hard coming to a place that you've never been before, and you know, I was managed to make a start in the first, and I don't know why I got called back, and you know, it's hard. Like the second time around, you know, you've got to get focused again and ready to go, and I managed to make the drop and get across and make a cut back and caught first corner, and yeah, just, you know, took control from the race, you know, from there, and managed to get the race win in.
First World Cup and a very young man, but it seems the British team spirit is very good, everyone working with each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, we've been together for a few days now, and you know, that's really good. We all like each other and getting along good. So yeah, that's great. You know, we've got a good atmosphere, and you know, even though we didn't get straight through the final, we're really pumped up to make it, you know, tonight.
And the new engine seems to be working well.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, that's great new thing what's come on the market, sort of thing, and you know, that's great that, you know, I had the chance to sort of promote it and get to test it, you know, and obviously you can see that's working well, and yeah, I think that's starting sort of some new things.
You're going to need every bit of that speed in the next one up against the world champion.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's gonna be hard. Every rider here is, you know, it's gonna be tough. You know, it's the top 4 from each country, you know, so yeah, that's gonna be tough all night. We just got to keep plugging away, and hopefully we'll get a good result.
Thanks, Robert.
No worries, cheers.
Speaks very well, doesn't he, for a youngster, Kelvin?
Yeah, as I said, he's sort of mature for 17, rode very well, and showed great composure in his ride, and he interviewed very nicely there. So yes, he's certainly a rider that you've got to believe is going to be around for an awful long time.
So heat number 5 coming up then. 3 of the riders are out there ready to go. We are just awaiting Rinat Gafurov, the Russian, from the white helmet colour. Chris Harris is for Great Britain here, and Przemysław Pawlicki is the Pole, who won the Elite League with Poole in the UK last season. Has a younger brother, of course, Piotr Pawlicki, who is every bit as good as his brother. So he's a rider they've got up their sleeve as well.
Yeah, some say better. He's under 21 world champion, and he's injured right now, but Piotr, his brother, has certainly turned a few heads. So yeah, the Poles have plenty of riders to call upon, with Schmarzlik as well. She's like saying that he's a little nervous because the team is very young, but he'll be keeping his fingers crossed that they can get the job done for him.
Here we go, heat number 5 coming up. There we go with heat number 5 then, and going across the grid, Rinat Gafurov for Russia off the inside in white. Chris Harris goes off gate number 2 in yellow. Will be desperate to secure a victory at the second time of asking now. Przemysław Pawlicki goes off gate 3 in blue for Poland, and Max Rummel is the American going off the outside in white. It's nicely poised after the first 4 heats here.
Yes.
Poland 10, Great Britain 9 is the top of the leaderboard. Harris off gate 2 in yellow for the Brits, and it's Pawlicki off gate 3 alongside him in blue, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and Pawlicki just hanging back there momentarily, comes into the start now, gate 3 for him. Harris is parked right up against gate 1, and actually fact, Gafurov, that might get quite close going to the first corner.
Here we go, heat number 5. Gafurov has made a good start once again, and here comes Pawlicki around the outside. Gafurov takes him square, and he's got to the back, and here now comes Max Rummel. Oh my goodness, and Chris Harris now with a real opportunity. Gafurov gets off the bike.
Does he ever?
Interesting decision coming up here now.
Tight down the back straight. Max Rummel won't believe it. First race in the World Cup he's ever led, and the red lights have come on. He'll be gutted. Got to keep our eyes on Rinat Gafurov, because there was a real tussle with Harris coming charging up the inside as they went into turn 3 on the opening lap. Real drama here. We'll see it again. Yeah, Gafurov's made a super start on the inside, runs right across in front of Pavlicki, who gets all out of shape. Rummel then pounces. Harris then up the inside, comes charging up the inside. Can't really see if there's any contact there, but he has to bail off hard. Very similar, a little bit similar to handball. Here we say this angle might be a little bit better for us. Well, Harris gets in there, you know. I don't think he's run a bit wide. Very difficult to see in actual fact.
Our monitor has got sun beaming down on it. Referee's taking a look at this. He's up and about. We're pleased to report Rinat Gafurov. Is there any contact?
Yeah, there is. Just a little bit there where it straightens him up. Harris has come in really hard on the inside, carrying lots of speed. And he has just caught him. An interesting decision that Christian Froschel takes here.
There's no exclusion lights on at the moment.
Could go either way, this. I get the feeling the Russian will go, but do think on one of the angles there, very difficult to see in actual fact. So he will apologise, I can hardly see the monitor, but the fact is that it did appear to be, one of the angles did appear that there may have been some contact there that unsettled the Russian. But seeing the start again, it's initially a good start from Gafurov. Pavlicki on the outside gets absolutely nailed there by Gafurov, who runs too wide. Max Rummel has come from nowhere. Harris dives up the inside. No malice in the move. There was racing room there, but unfortunately, with going in that narrow, you will be carrying extra speed. Now that view there, you can't really see it that clearly. But whatever happens, Gafurov gets out of shape. Yeah, I think Gafurov's going to go.
I think he has to.
Yeah,
I don't think Chris Harris has done anything wrong.
No,
there.
he hasn't, and I agree entirely. And I get the feeling that Gafurov, well, white exclusion.
Yep, Gafurov is out.
Almost certainly the right decision.
So Rinat Gafurov disqualified from the restart then of heat number 5.
Got a feel for Max Rummel here.
Yeah, very much
because
so.
he came out of nowhere and had fired himself to the front. Gafurov will be frustrated. Russians really have been a little bit all over the place.
Chris had already passed him there, though.
Yeah, he had. He got up the inside. I just wasn't sure whether he'd actually collected him as he went into the corner, but you can see there that he'd actually got past him. And Gafurov then got himself in trouble and bailed off. Shouldn't think they'll be arguing too much, but second chance now for Harris and Pavlicki. Got a feel for Rummel. Rummel had done great to get to the front. Looked like he was really enjoying himself, but and showing a lot more speed and confidence than he had on Monday at King's Lynn.
Yeah, I think he certainly found it tough there, Max Rummel, a talented young rider. In the American speedway scene, they are making great strides forward, it has to be said. You know, Max Rummel, Brock Nickel. I think it's only a matter of time before Curtis Hamill, Billy Hamill's lad, starts making waves over there as well.
You're right, you've seen there's Hagen Schock's academy, and Billy Hamill is part of that with Martin behind it, Martin Hagen, and I've got to say that they really are promoting speedway in California. There's a couple of youngsters here, Brock Nickel and Max Rummel, that are beginning to make big strides in the sport.
In number 5 coming up, 3 riders only then. And, Alan Rossiter, the GB team manager, is with Steve Brandon.
Alan Rossiter, heart in the mouth for a minute there.
Yeah, it was a little bit, but when I saw the replay, quite clear he come off on his own accord. One went under him hard, but there was no touching. I think Rennet just over-judged it in the end.
I'll let you watch the rerun. Thanks, Alan.
Cheers. Thanks, Steve.
In number 5 it is then. Alan Rossiter down in the pits. Nervous man, but passionate as well, and desperate to see his nation go through.
And they've made a great start, Great Britain. They could have easily have had 3 wins from the first 4 heats.
Very much so. No rider off the inside. Chris Harris off 2, Pavlicki off 3, Rummel off the outside then here. 3 riders only. The Russian Rinat Gafurov disqualified for being the primary cause of the stoppage in heat number 5. Very close. Poland 10, Great Britain 9. And of course, just to explain the Joker rule for you as well, you can nominate a rider for double points up to and including heat 16 only if you are 6 points behind the leading nation in this meeting. So USA and Russia already in that territory, and you could argue it's irrelevant really, because it's win or bust. If you're not challenging for the top of this meeting, then you're not going to go to the final, although world rankings are up for stake, I guess. So, you know, there's still next year to consider.
Indeed there is, and for youngsters like Max Rummel, if he can get amongst the points, that's got to be something that he'll be very proud of as well. But here we go.
Yep, here we go, and it's a good start from Harris off gate 2 in yellow. Pawlicki now is going to try the outside line. Has he got the speed down the back straight? He has. Przemysław Pawlicki has just passed Chris Harris superbly there down the back straight. Harris holding second spot. The lead here is with Max Rummel in third place now, and Przemysław Pawlicki has the lead and looking good for Poland here to open up a 2-point lead.
Absolutely, blew Harris away there, came charging around the outside. Terrific first corner from the pole. Harris giving chase with Max Rummel much more competitive this time. Pawlicki was out in front in his opening ride, and got to say he's showing terrific speed in front. Harris coming at him hard in second place, but hasn't got too many answers. He's having a really good go. But the Poles look like they're going to pick up another heat win here.
Looks like 2 wins out of 2 for Przemysław Pawlicki. Down the back straight he goes, well known to Coventry and to Paul Pirates fans in the UK, this fella. Harris not giving up as he never does, always gives it everything, but it's Poland there with Przemysław Pawlicki, who takes the checkered flag. Second place Chris Harris for Great Britain, and Max Rummel was third for the Americans here. But now Poland moving on to 13. They're 2 ahead of Great Britain, which is nothing because we're only a quarter of the way through this meeting. Still a long way to go.
Indeed there is, and super first corner from Pawlicki there, just was able to swoop round the outside of Harris. Got to give Harris some credit because at the end of the race he was very much back in touch with Pawlicki and put plenty of pressure on. 3 points to him, 2 points to Harris, and it's just a little bit of breathing space for Poland on 13 with Great Britain on 11, the USA on 5 and Russia on 1. Russia are having an absolute nightmare.
Yep, they are indeed, and they only have a 3-man contingent tonight. So it's always going to be up against it where they're concerned. But coming up, we've got the world champion Greg Hancock and young Robert Lambert in the next race after we see Heat 5 again.
Yeah, good start initially from Harris. Harris rides right round the inside, a little bit slick there, and that allows the racing room for Pawlicki to get round the outside of him. See it here, he just tucks to the inside, and clearly the track's really slick there. He spins up, and that extra little bit of grip further out allows Pawlicki to get the better of the Brit. Harris comes back at him hard. He never gave in. He gave 100% throughout the 4 laps. Always does. Got to say, Harris is a real hard charger and keeps the man honest out in front. But Pawlicki is enjoying a good meeting so far. He's 2 rides and 2 wins.
Now, as we build up to heat number 6, Kelvin, I know you can give us a bit of inside information on Robert Lambert and the bike that he's riding tonight.
Yeah, he's chosen to go with the new Speedway engine, the GTR, the Marcel Gerhard GTR, and he's been really enjoying it. And he's been prepared to test it. And I've got to say, on the evidence of his first ride, he looked really very quick indeed, and he'll be chuffed to bits. And yeah, I'm pleased for him. It's working out.
Here's the lineup then, heat number 6. And across the grid we go with 3 riders only. Hancock off the inside for USA, no rider off 2, Lambert off 3 for Great Britain, and Maciej Janowski off the outside for Poland. Kelvin, is it a big call for a 17-year-old lad in a World Cup to try something different like that? Big call, isn't it?
It is, but he's done a bit of testing on it. He raced it, of course, on Monday, so he knows it's competitive. Coming here, I don't think he had any qualms about using it. He has faith in it. And I think at this stage, for a 17-year-old, it's all about, he's got nothing to lose, has he? It's everything to gain, so he feels comfortable on it. So I tell you what, this will be some race if he could win this one.
Yeah, what a lineup it is. Only 3 of them, but a terrific lineup indeed. And Hancock's made a good start, but look at Janowski now. Sweeps across the outside. Can Lambert nip up the inside? Now Hancock just lost it coming out of turn 2 slightly, but Janowski has the lead for Poland. Here comes Greg Hancock. These two have really spent a lot of time together down the years. Hancock has mentored Janowski in his early days of his career, but he's chasing him hard here now.
He is indeed. Super stuff there away from the tapes from Janowski. Hancock giving chase. This time Robert Lambert just missing out off the start. Real top quality in front of him. Hancock working the track. Track has got very slick indeed early on. The brilliant sunshine is breaking the track, but Janowski now beginning to get a little bit of comfort room. There's a lap to go. And Hancock try and summon up something extra.
Well, it's a good ride for Maciej Janowski down the back straight on one wheel, picking up some extra grip there. Don't think that was deliberate from Janowski. You can't afford to do that when Greg Hancock's just behind you.
No.
Just picked up the drive, and Janowski takes the checkered flag for the Polish side, with Hancock second and Lambert third. Now means that Poland have moved on to 16 points, and they are 4 clear now of Team Great Britain because of the fact that Lambert finished behind Hancock there. USA now on to 7 points. Only 1 point so far for Team Russia, who are, it's fair to say, uncompetitive tonight. And it's a 2-horse race for top spot right now. Poland have got a grip on that. Janowski, Hancock, Lambert. The finishing order there, just to confirm, overall standings now after 6 heats. Poland 16, Great Britain 12, USA 7, and Russia have 1.
Yeah, what a ride that was from Janowski. Got to say that Hancock really gave everything in second place. Robert Lambert this time just finding the competition just a little bit too tough. Janowski just jogging back down in the paddock. See it again, clutches out, tapes up. So that's a super start from Janowski to get the better of Hancock from the outside. Hancock just lifted momentarily there. I thought that Lambert might have an opportunity to get up the inside there, but doesn't quite have the pace of the 2 Grand Prix stars out in front. Janowski rides a stormer. He's got that bike working really well, and he was able to pull clear towards the end of the race. Hancock not quite there. I'm sure he'd be working hard on the setup just to get a little bit more drive and create a little bit more speed, and Lambert back in third. But Janowski showing his class. He's got 5 points from his first 2 rides.
Heat number 7 coming up here in Vojens, Denmark. Beautiful, hot, sunny evening. I'm led to believe it's similar back in the UK, where we are on Quest TV tonight, which is free to air, so we may well have a lot of new viewers enjoying Speedway tonight. If you are, welcome. We hope you're enjoying our coverage from Vojens. Team Great Britain currently 4 points behind Poland, and a perfect night for Speedway racing here in Vojens. Heat number 7 coming up, and for Great Britain we see Danny King in the yellow helmet, and it's Krzysztof Brzykowski, a winner first time out for the Poles, so it doesn't get any easier for Great Britain. Danny King off the inside has been in good form this season for Coventry in the Elite League and Ipswich in the Premier League. Kudryashov, Brzykowski, Fisher across the grid. That's your lineup, heat number 7.
Yeah, Danny King just needs to make a really good start here, because Brzykowski will be buoyed by his first ride. He must be on cock-a-hoop when he came charging around that last corner to snatch the win away from Chris Harris. He's the danger man. He's coming out of gate 3.
4 wins in 6 heats for Poland so far tonight, and away from the start. Now it's a good one for King off the inside, but Brzykowski is going to challenge it. Oh, that's a nasty one, straight into the air fence there.
Oh, 3 riders down in the first corner, real nasty crash. Danny King there gets up.
Yeah,
he's on his feet. Brzykowski is buried under the air fence. Keep our fingers crossed for him, but once again he wasn't quite there. He was leaning all over the side of Danny King, and then he just got himself in all sorts of trouble. Probably needed to actually just give himself a little bit more room. He wasn't quite far enough in front of King to slam the door shut. And, we'll see it again. Fingers crossed that he's A-OK, because nasty looking incident.
Yeah, hitting the air fence at high speed. His bike went first. That is a worry. The bike went in first, and that is the main concern for Krzysztof Brzykowski. We wish him all the very best.
They could ill afford to lose a rider. That's going to put them under massive pressure. Almost a bit of deja vu when they lost Hampel early in the meeting at Gniezno on.
First race for Hampel on Saturday.
It was heat 4, wasn't it? And
yep.
You know, they were really under pressure, but it makes life tough if you go down to 3 riders without a reserve. So concern for Brzykowski.
Yep, very much so. First bend incident. Tried to go around the outside of Danny King, who made a super start. To be fair, Danny King was quick away from the tapes there for Great Britain.
He made a super reaction, and the bike drove hard to the first corner. Brzykowski sort of didn't really quite get there and was desperately trying to lean all over him, and that created a problem. And King had every right to move him out a little bit, and then all of a sudden the fireworks went off. Seeing it again now with King on the inside making a good start.
He is sat up, by the way, so we are going to show replays.
Here's Brzykowski coming across, leaning on to Danny King there. Just gets it too locked up there, and then King hits him and then just creates the problem. It's It's a sort of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other there, where Brzykowski sort of comes from the outside, probably feels he's going to get the better of King initially. King's right on the inside, but there he just pulls a big locker, and then King, they come together, and just a heavy clash in the first corner, and Brzykowski goes down really quite hard, but
he's walking away from it.
Well, that's good news.
Great
indeed.
news, yeah, absolutely. And,
no decision from the referee yet, so
he could put all 4 back in, Kelvin.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Anywhere else on the track, and he'd have to disqualify someone. But
exactly.
In the first turn, it could be deemed an unsatisfactory start to the race, and that's exactly what we are being told now from the referee's box. It will be all 4 riders back for the restart of heat number 7, and Mr. Brzykowski, I'm sure, will take plenty of time to get his breath back as he walks his way back across the centre green.
Yep.
A little bit of a breather for Brzykowski, and we'll be back on with the action very soon. Well, good to see him walk away from
Yeah, I'm delighted. Never good to see riders bail off the bike like that, but Brzykowski there just got clear of the bike. That's the big difference between his incident and what happened to Hampel, where Hampel collected the bike at high speed, and it can be quite dangerous. But Brzykowski there just having a tough time, concerned for the rider from the top man. His teammate Janowski there just making sure he's okay. No rush, just having a bit of a smile, give the boys in the paddock a bit of time to get the bike sorted out and dusted down so he can ride the same bike in the rerun. But yeah, it's going to be a tough night. You can just see how hard it is out there, and when the track's slick like this and it's difficult to overtake, being able to make a move early in the race is vital to be able to secure the big points.
Yeah, very much so. And it does give Brzykowski now a chance to walk back across the infield, get his breath back, because we were told initially he was winded a little bit. And it does, you said, Kelvin, it gives his pit crew a little bit of time to repair any damage. And I don't know whether, to be fair, they were very quick to push the bike away, so presumably they can work on it and it can go back out on the same bike. But you'll never know until you get back to the pits.
The clutch all need a little bit of attention. So, yeah, they will be working overtime in there.
Well, the Australian team manager, Mark Lemon, is with Steve Brandon.
Mark Lemon, a nice evening to size up the opponents for Saturday?
Yeah, it's a great evening. You know, the sun's out, it's nice and warm, got the shorts on, so it's spot on. But yeah, obviously we focus on what's going on here tonight, and great interest really for Saturday.
You've all travelled out today. Practice tomorrow. What are we going to see from the Australians this weekend?
Well, hopefully another gritty performance like you saw on Monday. Sort of heads down, sort of bums up, and attack it from the word go. So the boys are pretty pumped. It's sort of we have a different sort of atmosphere this year. It's sort of like pretty much going to be a really workmanlike thing. There's no sort of showboating about. We've come to do a job, and we know. Our form leading in this hasn't been great, but it's a matter of peaking at the right time. So fingers crossed, everything goes to plan. Bit of luck, and the boys get out there and put on a good show.
And Nick Morris enjoying his week in the SWC debut?
Yeah, it's great. Nick's loving it. He's just turned 21 on Sunday, so he's in his element. What would a 21 kid want more than be in the World Cup racing for your country? And he's really enjoying it and reveling it.
And just between you and me, no one's listening. Which of the 4 teams on display tonight would you like to make it to the final?
Well, I mean, Russia with a 3-man team, that would be great. But it's hard to say. But probably I'd like GB to sort of go there, because we know we're more familiar with them. Where the Poles, I think, can surprise us, surprise everybody if they make it through to the final. But it's kind of looking that way that we may be seeing Poland in the final.
Thanks, Mark. We'll see you Saturday. Enjoy the evening.
All right, man.
Yeah, nice for Mark to be here. He's got the shorts on, he's got the shades on, and he's enjoyed his Speedway tonight.
Back at home, I would think, for him.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Well, yeah, it's tough. It's tough at the top, they say. Yeah. But no, it's interesting side, of course. No Darcy Ward for them. He's still suspended, but Nick Morris was outstanding for them on Monday at Kings Lynn. Chris Holder seems to be beginning to find some confidence again. Troy Batchelor rode well on Monday, and he'll need to keep going in the right way.
Came really good, didn't he, Batchelor?
He did. So, they've got 3 Grand Prix riders, and Jason Doyle is another rider that's got good form this year. So the Australians, I'm sure, will be a major threat come Saturday night.
Well, riders getting ready for action then as we prepare for the restart of heat number 7. Danny King will fancy his chances. He made the start King for Great Britain off gate number 1 in yellow. Made a clean start, came down, wasn't affected by the crash, but I'm sure with Brzykowski battered and bruised, Kelvin, Danny King will fancy this.
Yeah, quite possibly. I think Brzykowski's a tough customer, though. I saw him walking around the pits. I tell you what, he looks quite a handy lad. Wouldn't want to fall out with him. Definitely want him on my side, but no, I think Brzykowski, he knows what it's all about. These fellas are full-time professionals, and he's back up at tapes. Interesting to see if he's on the same bike. Nonetheless, I still expect him to be a major threat here.
Here we go, heat number 7. Second time of asking. 16-12, Poland lead Great Britain. There's no Russian rider on a few occasions tonight because of the fact that we see only 3 riders in their team. And off gate 2, Andrei Kudryashov here for the Russian side. So heat number 7 coming up. Riders settling down, ready for action. Let's hope they get through the 4 laps without too many problems now. Danny King off the inside for Great Britain, Andrei Kudryashov for Russia, gate 3 Krzysztof Brzykowski for Poland, battered and bruised but ready to go, and Ryan Fisher for the USA going off the outside in red. This is heat number 7. Can Danny King do it again for Team Great Britain?
He'll be hoping so, and Alan Rossiter and the rest of his teammates will be as well. Looks like there's a few running repairs. I'm just looking down at the back end of Brzykowski's bike, plenty of duct tape coming in handy there. They've repaired the rear mudguard, but he's up at tapes, raring to go. Second time of asking for heat 7.
Yep, here we go. King's done it again. It's a lovely start. Brzykowski is there with him once again. Now King has gone wide, mid-track. Brzykowski now tries the inside switch. Down the back straight, ruthless. Krzysztof Brzykowski comes through and charges past Danny King. Really working hard. King's coming back for more. Good speedway race here. Ryan Fisher is third. King's going to try the inside. This is tough out there now.
Yeah, super move from Brzykowski. I thought for a moment King was ever going to repay the compliment there. He's run too wide in turns number 3 and 4. Second time around, Brzykowski, you've got to tip your hat to him. Nasty incident in the first corner, first time out, and he's clearing off out in front. He's fast. Really good opening ride where he stole the lead away from Harris. Brzykowski coming into a place ample, looking like he's going to have a couple of wins to his name in his first 2 rides. King desperate in second place, but he can't hang on to Brzykowski.
Brzykowski doing the job every bit that Jarek Hampel would have been expected to do for Poland. He takes the checkered flag. It was a tough race. I'm not sure that Danny King was totally happy with the tactics in the early stages there. It was tough speedway, and it looked to me as though Danny King was pretty wound up about it all, the way he was trying to come back at him. But that was speedway, hard speedway, and a good ride from Krzysztof Brzykowski. And now, with Poland on 19 points and GB on 14, Great Britain are only a point away, if they go a further point behind, from nominating a rider for double points under the Joker or using a tactical substitution. So, confirmed, after 7 heats now, Poland 19, Great Britain 14, USA 8, Russia 1. You have to be 6 behind the leading nation to bring in the Joker ride and or indeed use a tactical substitution.
Let's see it again. It's a super race this again. Got to say, Danny King makes a terrific start initially, runs too wide in the first corner, and that leaves a nice bit of room there for Brzykowski, who's, like you rightly say, he's tough down that back straight. He really doesn't make his presence felt.
Hard but fair.
Hard but fair. It's World Championship Speedway, that's what it's about. King here on the inside makes a good start, but runs just a touch too wide here. A move Brzykowski reads brilliantly, switches back to the inside, gets a nice bit of drive off the corner, and almost collects the front wheel of Danny King on the way through. Brzykowski out in front, he's having a dream meeting. 2 wins to his name and doing a great job coming in to replace Hampel. Marek Cieslak will be chuffed to bits to see his man coming in and doing the business. Brzykowski having a great night.
Great Britain 5 adrift of Poland right now then. That is the situation as it stands. And if you go 6 adrift, you can, as we say, make the tactical move. Alan Rossiter will be keeping a close eye on his programme, but he's got his top man out here, Ty Woffenden, in the yellow helmet colour off gate number 2, flying form this season in the Grand Prix campaign and chasing a third successive British Championship title at Wolverhampton on Monday night. That's the 15th of June.
Big meeting.
Woffington will be there looking for another British title. It's Belousov off the inside in white, Ty Woffington gate 2 in yellow, Gino Manzarek for the USA off gate 3 in red, Bartosz Smarslik off the outside in blue, the brilliant young Polish teenager. This is heat number 8, and it'll be interesting to see if Smarslik can really clamp down and push Woffington every step of the way.
He's going to have to dig deep because Woffington's very impressive in his opening ride.
Woffington off gate number 2 then, and Smarslik has missed it completely. Now Woffington is going to have to go wide around the outside, and he's done it superbly. He's got the better of Belousov here, and now Smarslik is third. Smarslik has got work to do now to try and peg back second spot here, because the Russian Belousov is holding second, and Great Britain are on the verge of clawing back potentially 2 points on the deficit of Poland now.
Well, yeah, super stuff from Woffington. Didn't make the best of starts. Belousov there from Russia is riding an absolute stormer in second place. Smarslik can't find a way through at this stage, and this would get Great Britain. It would close that lead in to approximately 3 points, I believe, and Woffington out in front, riding brilliantly. Smarslik round the outside on the back wheel. Not sure that's doing him any favours whatsoever. Belousov now, oh, he's run wide there. Yes, it hooks up, he's still there. Smarslik with work to do.
Yep, Great Britain are going to claw it back to 3 points here now after 2 races each, and Woffington is unbeaten by an opposing rider, and crucially there, Russia do them a favour with Belousov second, and the Pole Smarslik was in third place there. So now 20 points to Poland, 17 to Great Britain, only 3 points the gap, and Russia move on to 3 points after that. So forget the tactical sub or any joker. Britain closing in on Poland, 3 point gap after 8 heats now. Just to confirm the result, Woffington 2 wins out of 2, Belousov and Smarslik the finishing order, Manzarek at the back. And overall, it does mean now Poland 20, Great Britain 17, USA 8, and Russia have 3.
Well, Ty Woffington in top form here this evening. He didn't get the greatest of starts there, but the composure in the first corner was brilliant. He doesn't panic at all. He just allows the bike just to swoop round the outside of the Russian Belousov and has a sneaky look over his left shoulder. Smarslik's the one who's a surprise here. He just can't get the better of the Russian in second place, and that is a shock because the Russians really haven't done very much this evening at all. And we're seeing Smarslik lifting and getting himself really in a bit of a trouble early once again in the race, with Woffington being able to get the better of the Russian as they come out of the first corner. He's got an awful lot of speed. He really is enjoying his speedway. He looks in top form, and no surprise to see him winning his first 2 rides. Good result for Team Great Britain, closing in on Poland. Looked like it could well go to joker territory, but all of a sudden just the 3 points in it.
Interesting meeting, could go the distance perhaps, Calvin, or would you expect Poland on the form they're on? They are winning races. Do you expect them to go on and maybe stretch clear in the last 4 heats perhaps?
It could happen that way, but with these slick conditions, Nigel, starting's going to be at a premium. A move early in the race is going to be hugely important, and that gives Great Britain a shout here. You saw Smarslik there, he just couldn't get through the traffic.
Przemysław Pawlicki razem z nami. Bardzo dobra atmosfera w boksach. Tutaj żartował nawet trener Marek Cieślak, kiedy Maciej Janowski prowadził przed Gregiem Hancockiem: jedźcie parą, ale oczywiście humory dopisują, bo póki co jesteście na prowadzeniu.
Well, I'm not sure what the question was, but it took a while to ask it. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting. But it's going to be an interesting battle, isn't it, Kelvin?
It already is, isn't it? You know, it's swings and roundabouts. A surprise result from Smarslik. I fully expected him to finish second there. Thought he'd get the better of the Russian Belousov, but just wasn't able to find the extra speed required. And as hard as he tried, he couldn't get through. But
robić wszystko,
Wolfenden
żeby
riding nicely.
zbierać jak najwięcej punktów.
Wszyscy oprócz Buczka jedziecie tutaj po raz pierwszy. Krzysztof pokazał inteligentną jazdę, kiedy wycinał tam Zeksa na pierwszym łuku, ale wy również znaleźliście odpowiednie ścieżki, jak choćby ty środkiem toru.
I think you might be right. Poland
no tak,
possibly
ten pierwszy start był dużo lepszy, potem
a little bit more strength and depth.
nieco gorszy.
Yeah, they've got the race winners. They've got the likes of Pawlicki and Janowski and Buszkowski unbeaten so far as well.
Ale udało mi się wykorzystać to,
for a rider to come in
która jest na pierwszym łuku,
be unbeaten at this stage.
2 metry od krawężnika jest taka
you know, you could have suggested that he could have been a weak link tonight coming in, but it hasn't proven to be. And Buszkowski, even despite that nasty looking fall he had in the first corner, he had managed to dust himself down and rode brilliantly to win the rerun. So Poland are looking strong, but all credit to Team GB, they're hanging in there.
Możemy rozmawiać, lepiej żeby trochę poczekał, nie?
Dziękuję bardzo, hej.
Well, finally we got to the end of the interview, and a beautiful hot sunny evening here.
Yeah, it's a super evening, and don't often get them here. It's often you get the weather coming in off the North Sea, and actually you get deluge of rain here. But
they do have covers here that do work.
Yeah, they're excellent, and it's can save a meeting, but it's no. This evening it's absolutely lovely.
Let's hear from Great Britain skipper Ty Wolfenden now with our man Steve Brandon.
Ty, 8 heats gone, 3 points down. A lot to play for tonight still.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've got another 2 rounds of races, so yeah, the boys are going to dig deep, all of us together, and you know, get them points when we can.
A little bit of help from the Russians that time.
Yeah, it makes it nicer, but you know, we shouldn't need that. We should be able to go straight through without anyone's help.
Just mood in the camp after 2 rides each?
Yeah, everyone's good. You know, everyone's making small changes here and there to try and find that perfect setup. It's tough here because, you know, it's quite a stony track, so the inside was quite not slippery, well, stony in the first race, and then it all moves out, and then you make a bit of a dirt line, and now it's probably going to disappear pretty soon, so you're always chasing your setup here.
Do you look to help as many of the guys as you can in this as the captain, as probably a world champion? You've got all the accolades.
Yeah, I do everything I can here, and I do a lot behind the scenes, believe me.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ty Wolfenden, a huge influence on Team Great Britain. A rider of his stature has to be, and you know, when he's riding, he does a lot of his talking, of course, on the track as well. When you're winning races like that, that in itself is an inspiration to the people around you. So, you know, people like Robert Lambert, it really is a terrific time for him to be riding in the Great Britain team with a class rider like Wolfenden.
Yeah, looking forward then to the next 4 heats, and after 12 heats it really will take shape, and I think we'll have a clearer idea after heat 12 as to where this meeting is heading. Billy Hamill, the 1996 world champion, I do recall it was here in Vojens where he sealed his one and only world title. Anyway, he's with Steve Brandon.
Billy Hamill, time to unleash the 45-year-old world champion.
Yeah. You know, I feel a little bit bad about taking my youngster Max out, but you know, his last race he was actually leading when it was red flag, so just on paper it's the best race to put Greg in. So unfortunate we're in this situation, really, but you know, we're going to keep fighting.
Just a real quick word for you, this place, 1996, really special memories.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here too, so it's really cool to be back.
Thanks, Billy.
Right on, thanks.
Yeah, Billy Hamill won his one and only world title here on a memorable night when he was really having to hunt down Hans Nielsen.
Brilliant.
And did it in a spectacular style to win the world title in '96. We have a joker here. In fact, we have 2 jokers. One of them is for Greg Hancock. So Hancock's going to be a tack sub. And the Russians have also brought in Belousov, yep. So Belousov is in, and he's going for a joker as well. So 2 TRs,
yes,
or TSs, tactical substitutes. And we're ready for action. And the Great Britain rider here is Danny King. It's a long old way from that outside gate. Smarslick goes off the inside. So here we go. A lot happening in this one. 2 tactical substitutions, 2 jokers, and the battle continues between Poland and Great Britain. Here we go with heat number 9 then. Lots happening in this one to keep you up to date with. We have Bartosz Smarslik, the Pole, off the inside. Greg Hancock, tactical substitute for Max Rummel, and they're using the joker as well off gate 2 in red. Vitaly Belousov is a tactical substitute for the missing rider, off gate number 3, and they're going Joker with him as well. Danny King off the outside in yellow. Just to explain, 3 Russian riders unavailable, 2 of them with medical certificates, and 1 who's broken down in Latvia on the way to Denmark, and the FIM are investigating thoroughly.
I like the way you said that, the missing rider.
Well, there you go.
Brilliant. Here we go. This is a big race here. Danny King on the outside. He's going to have to come up with something pretty special now.
Certainly is. Danny King off the outside gate. And now it's a good start from Smarslik. Look at Danny King! Danny King around the outside for Great Britain, but Smarslik closes the door. And Hancock's relegated to the back. The tactical substitute and the Joker. Smarslik and King. Now Hancock comes through into third for Team USA. But Smarslik really worked hard to get the better there of Team GB's Danny King.
Yeah, and Smarslik's been the weak link for the pole so far tonight. He got third place last time out behind Belousov. I feel a little bit for Danny King. He made a great effort initially, but Smarslik was just able to get himself in the right place. And Smarslik is beginning to get this track dialed in now. He's flying out in front. King looks good. Usually for Hancock, who rides so well in previous seasons in the World Cup, it's not really on the pace this evening, but Smarslik is now. He looks good.
Smarslik and King, 2 of 3 former Birmingham Brummies riders tonight. Smarslik, yes, he made 1 appearance at Perry Bar last year, and he's taken the victory in heat number 9 for the Polish side. That is vital for Poland, because Smarslik hadn't won a race until then, and he had to work hard there to get the better of Danny King early on. Double points for the USA means that Hancock only gets 2 there because he finished third. But Kelvin, I think that is a significant win for Poland.
Well, I think you're right, because Smarslik had been their weak link, and then suddenly he's got it sorted out. A few tweaks to the bike, and he showed a lot of speed. Danny King rode well, though, in second place.
Yep, very much so. And this is what it means overall now. 4 points the gap between Poland and Great Britain. USA third in 10 after Hancock's Joker ride there. And Russia in 4th place on 3. The only way Great Britain can use a Joker, remember, if they go 6 behind. Forgive me, you regular Speedway fans who know all about this, but we do have some new viewers with us tonight. We are trying to keep you abreast of the World Cup rules and regs.
I'm sure they're thanking you right now, Nige. It's some very useful information. Super Speedway once again. Hancock, we're looking there. Doesn't make a really good start. That's unusual for Greg. Greg very sharp away from the tapes. Pretty much count on him, but so far this evening he's found that quite difficult. Smarslik out in front here. He rides well. Oh, yeah, just kicking off the fence at the end of the straight there. Really aggressive riding there from the young Polish rider. We're looking at Hancock once again. He did get himself up into third place, but he couldn't make any more progress. But this time for Smarslik and the Polish team, they'll be really pleased to see the youngster from Gorzów winning races finally. Just a steady start from him so far this evening, but all of a sudden he got the bike really dialed in, and he'll be pleased as punch. And quite clearly in the camp there, back in the pits, they'll be feeling a lot more, lot happier about things now.
Well, they're not straight out for Heat 10 because Greg Hancock has got a second successive ride here, and therefore at the race director's discretion, because in Grand Prix and World Cup Speedway, the FIM race director Phil Morris dictates the pace of the meeting, i.e. when the 2-minute warning goes on, and interval breaks for track grading, etc. So at Phil Morris's discretion, he will allow a little bit more extra time for Greg Hancock here.
Rightly so.
Danny King, the Great Britain man, is with Steve Brandon.
Danny King, that start then was a case of almost a perfect start.
Yeah, it's a long way off 4, especially after a track preparation, but I'm close with the sail. I'm just not quite happy. I need that little bit more, so just going to have a chat with the lads, see what we can do.
The track, because of the weather, is it changing really quickly over the 4 heats each bracket?
Yeah, it is. My heats are quite jumbled up as well, so the track seems slightly different every time I'm out. So, you know, we're just going to have to keep talking close in, get the setup right.
4 points behind, it's still plenty to play for with a lot of races left.
Yeah, but we've got to start getting in front of them poles, so we need to try and make better starts, I think.
Thanks, Danny.
Well, there is plenty to race for the Great Britain team. You know, they're in touching distance. You know, it can flip-flop quite quickly. Track conditions are quite different from what they experienced earlier today. It was actually cloudy this morning, nowhere near as bright and sunny, and there was fresh material on the track, and it generated quite a dirt line. I do think that this evening, with such a beautiful day, it's dried out quite significantly, and they're experiencing very different conditions than they encountered earlier today. Hancock has No question, he's suffered because of that. He hasn't been his normal self so far, and he hasn't managed to win a race so far. So Hancock now coming out for his back-to-back heats for him. He'll be looking for more. Brzykowski for the poles. He's a danger man, isn't he? He's unbeaten so far. And Ty Woofenden, 2 unbeaten riders coming up here, Nigel. This is quite a clash between the Poles and the Brits here.
Yep, very much so. The Grand Prix, by the way, returns in 3 weeks' time, just over 3 weeks, at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium. What a night that promises to be. In fact, they are starting work on the Millennium Stadium track earlier than ever this year.
They are.
So they'll be in there very soon, starting construction at the Millennium Stadium. The first Saturday in July is the British Grand Prix. Looking forward to that one. And of course, the whole series concludes in Melbourne, Australia, and that is in October. But the World Cup on the line. The weather forecast for Saturday here in Vojens has improved dramatically. The World Cup final,
pleased to see that.
Yep, was a little bit worrying earlier in the week, but it's improved significantly. They do have covers here at Vojens as well, which have worked and have saved meetings here at Vojens previously as well. So they do have the covers which Ollie Olsen and his staff can use here, which have proved that they work. So heat number 10 coming up here. Britain's top man Ty Woofenden is going off the inside. He's unbeaten so far. Krzysztof Brzykowski also unbeaten so far off 2. Rinat Gafurov goes off gate 3 in white. And Greg Hancock, the old master, is going off the outside in red.
Yeah, good lineup again, and it'll be interesting to see how Brzykowski deals with Ty Woofenden. Woofenden, such a class act these days. And Brzykowski outside the Grand Prix in the World Cup, of course, but doesn't ride in the Grand Prix series, so won't be riding against Woofenden at this level on a regular basis. Woofenden so supremely confident, has trained hard in the winter and has come into the season really fighting fit. He's on the inside, Brzykowski gate 2, the American Hancock on gate 4. Terrific race.
Here we go then. This is heat number 11, and Woofenden has made a beauty. He looks over his right shoulder. He's going to take out Brzykowski. That is going to allow Hancock up the inside, but Brzykowski holds firm. Woofenden now, brilliant form tonight from the Team Great Britain skipper. Maximum man so far, 3 rides and 3 wins, and he is absolutely flying out there.
He is indeed. It's doing it so easy. Look at the speed he's got. It's absolutely fantastic. Brilliant riding from Woofenden, superb out in front. Brzykowski pushed him hard just momentarily in that first corner, and Hancock in 3rd place. But Ty Woofenden is in a class of his own so far this evening, Nigel. Really is looking good.
Yep, this will cut the deficit to 3 points for Team Great Britain. Woofenden looking good for a 3rd straight win then. As things stand, 2 under his belt so far. 3rd straight win on the way, and he is almost a length of a straight clear of Krzysztof Brzykowski, with Hancock 3rd, and the man at the back is Rinat Gafurov. But no messing, Ty Woofenden, a hat-trick of wins for this young man from Great Britain, born in Scunthorpe, but of course brought up primarily in Australia when his parents emigrated when Ty was a very, very young boy. Came back when he was, 15 years of age. Parents brought him back to Europe to see if he could make it as a speedway rider. Well, he hasn't done bad, has he?
Not too bad. Very impressive.
So here we go, heat number 10, the result. Woofenden the winner, with Brzykowski holding 2nd, and he had to because Hancock was putting him under pressure there. And Hancock 3rd and Gafurov at the back. So it does narrow the gap again to 3 points. Great Britain just refuse to lie down.
Yeah.
They don't allow the Polish side to build up any momentum and are keeping them well and truly on the toes.
They are indeed, and when you've got a rider of that class out there, he's an inspiration to all of you. When he rides this well, it really is a sight to behold. Makes it look so easy, and I can assure you it isn't. He makes a good start, he takes care of Brzykowski. Brzykowski rides well in the first corner, but hasn't got the speed to cope with Ty Woofenden. Woofenden really was jet propelled here. So confident, Woofenden, already, away from the start, has a look to his right. All looks like it's happening nice and comfortably for the championship leader. This is his 3rd win this evening, and he just gets across in front of Brzykowski there, and the bike absolutely flying out in front. Brzykowski, as hard as he tried, unbeaten, of course, both these riders prior to the race starting, but Woofenden's the one that comes out on top. 3 points in it, it's a good job. As you rightly say, Nigel, Great Britain, Team GB, are keeping the pressure on Poland.
And we have Poland on the inside and Team GB on the outside of the next one. Janowski and Harris.
Yep.
Is the headline battle here. heat number 11, but Ryan Fisher capable of doing some damage. He's out here for the USA in red. And it's Vitaly Belousov.
Well, he's ridden all right, Belousov, hasn't he? You know, he's been pretty competitive, and I don't know too much about him, but he has got himself a few points this evening and done himself no harm at all.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Here we go. Heat number 11, Maciej Janowski off the inside in blue for Poland. Vitaly Belousov, gate 2 in white for Russia. Ryan Fisher, gate 3 for the USA. Chris Harris outside in yellow for Great Britain. Great Britain just going to hang on in there for the 16 heats before the managers make their nominations. Who knows? Who knows? It could happen. And they could be back here on Saturday night in the World Cup final, the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup. Heat number 11 it is. Watch out for Janowski in blue. Watch out for Harris in yellow. That's the big battle. And Janowski has made a beauty from the inside gate. Harris has been left at the back. And now here comes Fisher around the outside, but Janowski holds the line. If it stays like this, Great Britain will be in tactical substitute territory. And they can use a joker as well, because the lead is with Janowski. But Harris isn't giving up here.
No, he made a poor start there. Didn't get away at all, and Janowski did. He got trapped in traffic in that first corner, and he's struggling to really land a blow. Janowski's cleared off out in front. Ryan Fisher in second place, Belousov in third. Harris now chopping to the inside, desperately trying to get himself in amongst the points, and it isn't working out. Janowski's comfortable in front. Ryan Fisher, well, he's riding hard in second place. Can Harris get amongst the points?
I just wonder if we see a situation here where Poland goes 6 up on Great Britain, and perhaps Rossiter will pull out Lambert from the next one and put Woofenden in and give him the joker as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is going to happen now. Great ride from Maciej Janowski in the blue helmet colour. They're 6 up now on Great Britain, and that gives them the opportunity, if they wish, to take out Lambert from Heat 12, put Woofenden in, and give him the joker ride as well for double points. We'll find out. Well, it will be interesting.
Wouldn't be a surprise. Woofenden unbeaten so far, really has been riding brilliantly. Janowski comes up with a strong ride and wins comfortably out in front, and he's enjoying a terrific night. Just has been beaten once, just dropped 1 point, but yeah, shot there from Harris, didn't get away well and really struggled to land a blow.
So let's take a look at how the standings are. Confirmation that Poland are 6 clear now of Great Britain, USA 13, Russia have 4. The 2 minutes is on, and we await news on whether there will be a change in heat number 12.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure Adam Rossers is having a chat with his team captain. This time, Janowski on the inside makes a great start, and Harris, unfortunately, just doesn't get away that cleanly from the outside, and he's at the back and tries the outside, and that doesn't work out for him, and then he chops back to the inside, and he just can't land a blow here. Belousov there in third place, and Ryan Fisher riding well for his 2 points in second. Janowski's cleared off. It was a battle between those two boys for second and third, but the shock was Harris failing to score, and as you rightly say, we're waiting to see whether Woofenden will be brought in here as a...
Phil Morris, the race director, is sending them back to the pits, and Ty Woofenden does have the yellow helmet colour on.
Right.
So Woofenden putting the yellow helmet colour on here, that means he is going to replace Robert Lambert. We don't know yet whether it's going to be the joker, but you might as well.
He's got to do it.
Yeah.
He's got to do it. There's no reason not to. And Woofenden now coming out. He's unbeaten. He's on 9 points. 6 points available for him. Rossiter there alongside him. And just getting themselves ready for this race. This is crunch time. If this works out for them, put themselves right back in the hunt.
Yeah, very much so. Well and truly back in it. It does. The ideal result would be for Britain to win it and for Pawlicki to finish last, and Britain would pull level. But you have Kudryashov, Manzarek, and with all due respect, Przemek Pawlicki, unless he packs up or touches the tapes, it's unlikely he's going to be beaten by Manzarek or Kudryashov.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to get a second place in likelihood. And
but that would still pull 4 back for Britain.
It would indeed, and that's a decent result. And Woofenden is on paper now. He is favourite. He's coming off of gate 1, which has worked well in the previous race for Janowski, so no qualms there, nothing to really worry about.
And here we have a fresh 2-minute time allowance for heat number 12. It was cancelled by the race director when Britain decided to make that change, but well, as soon as I saw the way heat 11 was panning out,
you were right. You called it dead right. Called it dead right, Nigel, and it's a no-brainer. Wolfenden is the star man of the night, and he's unbeaten coming into the race.
Alan Rossiter, the Team GB manager, is with Steve Brandon.
Alan Rossiter, your captain and former world champion, about to push off as the Joker. Crunch time.
Yeah, it is a bit now. A bit hard luck on Robert Lambert. He's not really done much wrong, but this is the way it is, and we've got to get in quick now.
Still a lot to play for, but this has to pay off.
Yeah, it's got to pay off. Otherwise, it's the last chuck of the dice, really.
All right, thanks. We'll let you watch it.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, it is crunch time because if it doesn't work out now and they can't grab the 4 points back on the poles, then really and truly the opportunities will become very thin on the ground. So yeah, Wolfenden with the pressure to come up with a big ride here. Pawlicki, I tell you what, he's having a good night. So he's unbeaten so far, Pawlicki. So you've got to say that Ty, although he's favourite for the race, he's up against a rider that's in good form.
So heat number 12 coming up. And here we go with the lineup. Ty Wolfenden going off the inside in yellow for Team Great Britain. Szymek Pawlicki, gate 2 in blue. For Poland, Andrzej Kudryashov, gate 3 in white. For Russia, and Gino Manzarek going off the outside in red for Team USA. Here we go, heat 12. Crunch time, as Alan Rossiter has described it.
Yeah.
Perhaps a little bit too early to describe it as make or break. But quite simply, Ty Wolfenden, Britain's top man, has to win this.
He does, and he's more than capable. He's won his 3 rides so far. He is the class man of the field so far this evening. He's on the inside gate that's worked well.
Here we go, heat number 12 it is, and Wolfenden has made a beauty. Now, Pawlicki will look to tuck up the inside, but look at the man in white. It's Kudryashov coming around the outside. This is doing Great Britain a huge favour, because if it stays like this, Britain will be 1 point behind Poland. But here comes the pole again, challenging hard. Britain need Kudryashov to stay exactly where he is, and Britain will go a point behind the Poles. But the man in blue, Pawlicki, is trying everything, charges up the inside here in turns 3 and 4. Kudryashov, though, is again, and holds second place.
Wow, what a move that is from the Russian. Ty Wolfenden, he's in a different stratosphere. He's just cleared off out in front. He is so fast, it's frightening. But what a ride here from the Russian. Kudryashov in second place. Pawlicki now riding the outside. There's a lap to go. He jumps to the inside. Oh, that's going to turn. Oh, they've stayed upright. How on earth do they stay on?
If he went down, surely Pawlicki would have gone. My goodness, Wolfenden has won the race easily, and Pawlicki has somehow been able to come back and claim 2 points unless the referee takes another look and believes it was foul riding.
How tough was Pawlicki there on Kudryashov.
Can't believe they stayed on the bike.
How on earth they stayed on is remarkable. They clashed several times going into the first corner for the last time. Pawlicki was ruthless coming up the inside there. He swept around the outside in the previous corner. And then Kudryashov, if he had gone down, you've got to say that Pawlicki would have been excluded.
We are hearing news that Pawlicki has been disqualified.
Wow!
Szymek Pawlicki has been disqualified. That changes the score completely. That surely puts Kudryashov into second place, Manzarek third, and Pawlicki no points. And Great Britain will level now on 28 with Poland. And in one race here, Great Britain have clawed back a 6-point deficit.
Wow.
That's, as the result stands, from Heat 12. I did say, if the referee takes another look and decides Pawlicki was committing foul riding there.
Well, he certainly gives him a really good shove in the middle of the corner. He chopped to the inside, carrying an awful lot of speed, and he just literally shuffles him out of the way. He does awfully well, Kudryashov, to actually stay on. Brave move and decision from Christian Froschauer to exclude the Polish rider. Going down the back straight there, all sorts of tussles going on there. It really did go right the way down the back straight, but the move from Pawlicki, very tough indeed, and Froschauer, the referee, not taking a liking to it at all, deeming it dangerous riding. 28 points all. This meeting's come alive.
8 heats to go, and here are the standings, and huge credit to Ty Wolfenden. for winning that race. It's level, Poland and Great Britain, USA 14, Russia 6, drama, controversy, and 8 heats to decide who goes through to the World Cup final. Wow.
Yeah, it is wow, and you've got to say that Ty Woofenden, his bike is sensational. It's so fast, and you can see he's so confident, and he's flying, and great job from him. He's away from the inside, immediately looks to his right. He knows he's comfortable. He comes right round the inside. Kudryashov, great ride from him. He gets around the outside of Pavlicki early on, and this is the move that sees Pavlicki excluded. Carries so much speed there, goes in tight, just literally slams into the side of the Russian, and it continues on all the way down the back straight. How on earth Kudryashov stays on here is remarkable, because he gets a really good thump on the way through, and again down the back straight. Christian Froschauer, the referee, takes a dim view of it, doesn't like it, throws the Polish rider out with 28 points all, and out of nowhere, Great Britain have got a real good chance here. Work to do, but it's on.
Well, very
Marek
much so.
Cieślak razem z nami. Było
Marek
miło,
Cieślak,
zrobiło się
well,
bardzo nerwowo
be
przed chwilą.
interesting to see what he
Panie
has to
trenerze,
say about
rozmawiał pan
that.
z sędzią. Co
But I
powiedział?
did call it, Kelvin. I did say if the referee takes another look and decides that that was foul riding,
well, he heard you. He heard your notes, because exactly that happened. And it's all on now. And it's a brave decision from Christian Froschauer, but one that's probably spot on.
well, at the risk of being sounding biased towards Britain, but it was harsh. I can't believe that both riders stayed upright. That's
Kudryashov, I'm surprised he didn't go down. He got such a thump.
Właśnie jak trener mówi, są upomnienia, walka jest bardzo ostra, to jest żużel tak naprawdę, ale tutaj nie było upadku, to była walka łokieć w łokieć.
No wysunął Przemek Rosjanina troszeczkę na dużą i ten został, ale
Pavlicki was a bit desperate there, in truth. He tried inside and outside, couldn't get his way through, and you know, with the joker being played by
Dziękuję
Team
bardzo,
GB,
Marek Cieślak.
I think you just saw a rider overdoing it.
I'd love to hear what Mr. Cieślak just said there. We are going to try and grab a word with him with an English version.
Well,
either that or we learn Polish pretty quick.
Yeah. I
So
think the latter's unlikely for me, but
well, here he is, Steve Brandon talking to Marek Cieślak.
Marek, Speedway is a tough sport. That was a very tough call.
Yeah, of course, especially when it's race off and each point is very important. So guys is fighting. I don't know why referee excluded my rider. I know it was a little bit close, but nobody fell off, and I don't know.
With 8 races left now for the neutrals, this is going to be a great meeting.
Yeah, of course, it's good meeting for the spectators. Joker is also, for me, going, scoring points, and one race we lose everything. But we have still 8 races, so I think everything will be okay.
A little bit of time to talk to the riders now. What will you say?
We must win start, because we have some problems with the starts. My team is going good. We must do the same to end of the season.
Thank you for talking to me.
Well, yeah, great meeting for the neutral, but that's no consolation whatsoever to Marek Cieślak, Kelvin.
He does
will be
have a
fuming.
point, though. He does have a point, clearly, that nobody did come off. It's a miracle.
But there is such a thing as foul riding.
And that was a clear example of it. It was a clear example of it. I'm not disagreeing with the referee. I think that, you know, he's the Polish team manager. He's not going to agree with the rider not being excluded. It's so competitive. Clearly doesn't like the joker. And, you know, you can understand that from that point of view. But I've got to say that it was a tough move from Pavlicki.
Well, the Britain man of the moment, Ty Woofenden, is with our man Steve Brandon.
Ty Woofenden, Marek Cieślak doesn't like the joker. Great Britain do. You love it.
Yeah, it was a good race. Roscoe only told me just before the 2 minutes literally went on. So, yeah, made a decent start and just rode where I wanted to, and it worked. I'm struggling out at the start a little bit tonight. Making a good jump, but spinning after that. So just working hard to try and find that out.
You might be struggling from the start, but once you get the wheels in line, that bike is awesomely fast.
Yeah, thanks, Johnsy.
But again, you know, for a rider, I know that you're trying to battle to get the setup right for the start, but when you know a bike is that quick, it must give you a lot of confidence if it does get a little difficult in the first corner.
Yeah, it does, you know. I know I've got pace, but it's like one extreme to the other. I'm spinning heaps on the inside, but then when I'm in the dirt, I'm just railing around. So guess I got to make a few more starts.
12 races gone. There's just been a little team meeting for Great Britain. What have you guys been talking about?
Yeah, just about digging deep. You know, we've got to really push forward now and, you know, just keep fighting all the way to the end. It's not over yet. The Poles are a tough team, and so are the other guys. You know, everyone can take points off anyone, so it's not over till the end.
Back to work.
Thank you.
Yeah, effectively we start again. It's a clean slate.
Yeah.
8 heats to go, and Poland and Great Britain start level.
Yes.
It's not all over for Poland, although it is a crushing blow for the Poles.
Yeah,
that race.
you know, they've seen it all. She's seen it all as well, so he won't be panicking. He'll be just making sure that his troops stay focused. Let's see the standings here. 14 for USA. Jokers have been played by 3 of the teams, but Poland and Great Britain, they're the ones that are head-to-head here. 28 points each, 15 points for Woofenden, that's outstanding. Robert Lambert, of course, has ridden well. Harris is a slight concern. He failed to score last time. I think that's the only rider that in the Team GB side that has had a 0. Yes, it is, in actual fact. So Chris, having had a smashing night on Monday, isn't quite on the pace here this evening. So he's out here, and he needs to come up with something a bit special.
Yeah, he finished last in heat number 11, and very surprising that he was beaten by Belushov, who has got a bit of speed. But of course, what that last place did, it did enable Woofenden to go out on the Joker and a tactical substitute ride. So Niels Christian Iversen of Team Denmark is here watching tonight, looking ahead to the final, and he's with Steve Brandon.
Niels Christian Iversen, a chance to weigh up the opposition ahead of Saturday?
Yeah, I think it looks good so far. You know, it's some strong competition we have here. You know, they're battling hard for the last spot, Poland and England. So it's going to be exciting to see who we're going to be against.
Is it a strange feeling having a week off, watching the World Cup develop, and then knowing that Saturday you've got to go out and try and beat 3 more teams?
Yeah, a little bit. But again, we had some practice this week here in Denmark, and yeah, we spent a bit of time together today and with some team building and stuff. So tomorrow we have practice, and then we're ready to go.
Referees just put down a marker for hard riding in the World Cup. People are going to have to be careful what they do on the track, making moves when they need points, when they're a little desperate.
Yeah, I think it's good that they sort of, you know, put a marker down that, you know, it can't be too much with the hard riding. But you know, it is still a world championship. You know, we need to be hard on the track, but again, we need to be fair as well.
You guys spend almost the entire season knocking spots off each other, trying to beat each other in individual meetings, team meetings, Grand Prix. To have the chance to come together as a team for the week, good fun?
Yeah, it is good fun. But you know, we know each other really well. We've been together for years now in this team, and you know, it's the same boys which going in the squad. You know, and we know we all have the same goal, and we want to win, and that's why we have to work together. And it works good for us. So we know each other well.
All right, Niels, heat 13 coming up. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So here we go with heat 13 then, and we start again with 8 heats to decide the winner of the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup race-off. Who is going to join the host nation Denmark, who is going to join Sweden, and Team Australia, who won at Kings Lynn on Monday night. It's a straight shootout between Poland and Great Britain. And with Ty Woofenden in such stunning form, he's going to need just a little bit of backing from the other boys now to come good. Only Robert Lambert elsewhere has won a race for Great Britain tonight, and it's the Joker and the tactical sub and the disqualification of Pavlitsky, which has got Great Britain back level again. Alan Rossiter in his 2nd season as GB manager. Here we go, heat number 13. It's very tense, and it's going to get even more so. Here we go, heat number 13. What a dramatic night here in Vojens, Denmark. It's Chris Harris off the inside in yellow. Gate 2 in blue is Bartosz Smarslik off gate 2 in the blue helmet colour. Greg Hancock from Team USA going off gate 3 in red. And off the outside, Andrei Kudryashov for Russia. Heat number 13. 8 heats to decide who is going to make the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup final. Pressure on every race and no margin for error.
Absolutely not. And Harris, who was poor last time, looks like he's swapped his equipment once again, hasn't been settled with his bikes this evening. He's going off the inside. Schmarslik, who really came good in his previous ride, won a race, and he's going to be a danger man on gate 2. Hancock has been below par. Will he come up with something special now? So Harris under a lot of pressure on gate 1.
Yep, here we go, heat number 13. Can Harris get to that first turn? Schmarslik has just got the drop. Hancock now wide around the outside. Brilliant. Hancock has got the lead. Super ride from the 45-year-old. But Bartosz Schmarslik holds second place. Chris Harris is third. And Great Britain really need Hancock to hold Schmarslik off into second spot now.
It is indeed. Great first corner from Greg Hancock. Has had a difficult evening. He hasn't been winning races this evening. The Joker, he only managed to get third place, but this time he got the bike hooked up, fired himself to the front. Schmarslik giving chase in second place. Harris, who missed the start, he's tailed off in third place. He's just not being able to compete with the two big guns out in front. Hancock now being chased hard by Schmarslik, coming at him really hard with a lap to go.
Yeah, Schmarslik really riding the wheels off the bike, giving it absolutely everything.
Oh!
Hancock nearly hits the fence down the back straight, manages to get the bike back under control, and here comes Schmarslik down to the line, but Hancock holds on, almost brushes the fence with his right elbow as he goes down to the finish line, and that allows Poland to open up a narrow 1-point lead over Team Great Britain after 13 heats here. Well, you do get the feeling it could go down to the wire tonight here in Vojens.
What a ride from Hancock. Does Team GB a favour there with Harris not getting amongst the big points, just scrapping for third place. Schmarslik gave it absolutely everything in heat 13, but Hancock just hang on coming out of the last corner.
Yeah, Hancock from Schmarslik from Harris, who's now got 5 from 4. He was brilliant on Monday at Kings Lynn. Chris Harris hasn't quite been able to do that tonight. Poland 30, Great Britain 29 now. So 1 point in it, with 7 heats to go. Effectively a straight shootout now between the two at the top, Poland and Great Britain, and Robert Lambert is standing by for Great Britain in the next.
Well, Schmarslik makes a good start, but what a first corner from Greg Hancock. He is able to get the bike hooked up and he gets himself to the front as they go down the back straight. Well, credit to Bartosz Schmarslik here. He comes hard at the world champion late on in the race. Really does put him under a lot of pressure. Hancock a little bit unsettled in truth. Unusual to see him having to work that hard. Once again, we're seeing the first corner. Real good action there. Harris doesn't quite get there off the inside and hasn't got the pace to really put any pressure on the front two. So Greg Hancock, who's had a tough night, there's no question about that, finally comes up with a race win. Then just momentarily again, unusual to see Greg just getting a little bit out of shape. But Schmarslik there, the youngster, giving chase, a really good effort.
So here we go with heat 14. Greg Hancock more like his old self there with that fantastic ride, and he really had to push it hard to keep the Gorzhov youngster just at the back of him there. Heat 14 coming up. We see for Great Britain in this one Robert Lambert and Krzysztof Byszkowski, who's really been in the thick of things tonight for Poland. He's their representative off the outside gate. Rummel off the inside for the California kid for the USA. Robert Lambert, gate 2 in yellow for Great Britain. Vitaly Belushov goes off gate 3 in red for the Russians. And Krzysztof Byszkowski going off the outside in blue for the Poles.
Yeah, good line-up and plenty of pressure on the 17-year-old here. Missed the race, of course, when Ty Wolfenden came in with the Joker, and that worked out. So Lambert just having to be a little patient, but a hugely important race for him here. He's keen to get underway. Byszkowski coming in, he's only dropped 1 point to the World Championship leader Wolfenden, so very much a danger man on the outside.
It is a long way to the first turn for the pole from gate number 4, and Lambert has made the start. Robert Lambert has the lead for Great Britain. Watch out for Byszkowski. Lambert goes wide. Oh, he's just allowed Belousov to come through. Oh! Byszkowski challenge hard. Oh! Lambert is there. Belousov holds on. Byszkowski comes up the inside. Lambert and Belousov throwing the bike at each other.
Brilliant stuff. Lambert there up the inside. God, just about getting the better of Belousov. Got to say, Buskovski relegated to third place. Now Lambert allows the bike to run wider.
He's quick.
He is quick. Belousov certainly having a go. Now Buskovski's on the inside. Oh, you can throw a blanket over the first three. Lambert only just in front with the Russian really having a good go.
Robert Lambert could give Britain the lead here. Lambert has the advantage now. Second place is Belousov. Third is Krzysztof Buskovski. And the 17-year-old Robert Lambert could be on the verge of giving Team Great Britain a 1-point lead. Buskovski comes through. Buskovski for Poland. Down to the line.
Oh, he does him. Does him on the run to the line. Brilliant effort from Buskovski, but what a ride from the 17-year-old. Out in front, Robbie Lambert wins another race. Won his first ride, got dropped for the Joker, bounces back with a fabulous effort. Well, it was all action early on. Buskovski snatches second place off the Russian on the run to the line. But we've got a Speedway meeting here. It's still neck and neck. Could still go either way.
And Robert Lambert at 17 years of age.
Well, coming of age.
3 rides and 2 wins in the World Cup race-off.
Brilliant.
Absolutely sensational. And it's level. Poland 32, Great Britain 32, USA 17. And Russia have 7, and Great Britain have the unbeaten Woffington coming up in the next race.
Wow, this really is getting very exciting indeed. Got to say that Robert Lambert has ridden an absolute stormer there. Never easy to be taken out of a ride when you haven't done very much wrong, but had to be done. Alan Rossiter had to make the move with Woffington, and it paid massive dividends. What a ride this is. Off the start, into the first corner, he lifts, he gets a little bit out of shape. He's relegated. I thought he was going to go to third there, but by golly, he shows fantastic commitment as they go into turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap. Belousov, he plays his part here. There's no doubt the Russian makes Robbie Lambert work awfully hard for his points. Seeing it into the first corner again. Gotta say, Buskovski here just couldn't land a blow early on. All credit to him, he rides really hard. How tight was it early on in the race? Almost falling over one another. Really was super speedway here. Buskovski rides hard, gets second place late on in the race. On the run to the line, Belousov will be gutted about that, but Robert Lambert, well, that was sensational.
Robert Lambert, who failed to qualify for the British final at Wolverhampton on Monday, didn't get a wild card and therefore misses out on a chance for a shot at the Cardiff Grand Prix.
What a shame.
Which is a shame for him, of course, but Heat 15 coming up, and we go off the inside. It looks as though Kudryashov is coming in as a tactical sub for Russia off the inside in white. Gate 2 in red is Ryan Fisher for the USA. Ty Woffington, the unbeaten Ty Woffington, goes off gate 3 in yellow. And off the outside, Przemek Pawlicki, still fuming, no doubt, from his disqualification. But if Woffington can win this and lead Pawlicki, Britain will lead the meeting with 5 heats to go.
Wow, what a turnaround it's been. Poland were favourites for this meeting, without question, and they started very well. And then when Great Britain went 6 points behind, you just sensed that possibly it was going to be doom and gloom and it was going to be all over. We built it up as crunch time. In effect, it was, because it has been a turning point. The momentum has shifted. Bit of bad fortune, bit of overriding from the Poles, maybe a touch of inexperience just coming through when the pressure's really been on. And they've dropped a few points here and there. It's 32 points all. Woffington red hot favourite here. He looks nigh on unbeatable here this evening. Pawlicki's going to have to come up with a ride of his lifetime here if he's going to get the better of Woffington.
Yeah, the Poles under pressure. It's a new broom of Polish riders, a new generation coming through. Hampel injured, of course, and we send him our very best wishes.
Absolutely.
No Thomas Gollum, no Krzysztof Kasperzak, no Janusz Kolodze. This is Heat 15. Woffington has made the start from gate 3, and Pawlicki has been left trailing. Now Woffington goes wide. Pawlicki has spotted the chance, goes up the inside. Here comes Pawlicki, and he just moves into second spot now. Britain will lead the meeting here if it stays like this. And this will be the first time that Great Britain have the lead in the race-off, and there's only 5 heats to go. And Ty Woffington of Great Britain is kicking on and looking unstoppable tonight.
Oh, absolutely right. Unstoppable is the way to sum it up. He was supreme again there. He said he was worried about the starts. That time they've tweaked the bike and it brilliant away from the tapes. Peter Johns, his engine tuner, must be delighted with this because this bike is a rocket out there, flying out in front. Look how fast he is. He's just cleared off. Pavlicki's been in good form. Has no answer at all. Woffinden really is in a class of his own. Great Britain about to take the lead in the meeting.
Yeah, they did lead after the first heat, of course. Woffinden won heat 1, but they haven't been ahead since then. Now they are, with 5 heats to go. Woffinden wins heat number 15, and that is his 5th straight win. 18 points because he scored 6 for doubling up on the Joker ride last time out. Not a bad night's work indeed from Ty Woffinden. So they took the lead in heat 1, they then were overhauled in heat 2, and now they take the lead again in heat 15. 5 heats to go, and Britain lead the race off by a point.
Yeah, they do indeed, and we see the result, and no surprise to see that man. Woffinden 3 points for him, Pavlicki on 2. Fischer gets the solitary point with the Russian out the back. That means now Great Britain lead the meeting for the 2nd time this evening. 35 points, just a point in it with Poland. 34, 18 to the USA and 7 to the Russian team, but it really has. The momentum shifted when the Joker worked out. That man has been an inspiration. Not only is he winning races, he's absolutely tearing the opposition apart here this evening. Bike works beautifully to the first corner, and then it works even better once he settles down. He's so fast in front, it really is quite frightening, and the opposition for the World Championship, not just the World Cup, must be worried because this man is absolutely dominant here this evening. Got to say that Pavlicki rides smart in that first corner. He has to work.
Great move for him.
It was indeed. It was a tough move, but he pulled it off. Clearly not desperate to get amongst the points after being excluded in his previous race. But wow, what a night we're enjoying. This race-off really is living up to its expectation.
Well, British viewers in the UK, if you're planning to pop out for a takeaway, order a delivery.
Yes.
Don't miss it. Get the kettle on and do it between each 16 and 17. This is going to go the distance, I reckon, and it's going to be nerve-jangling every step of the way. It's a little bit like when you used to watch Doctor Who as a kid. You've got to go behind the sofa and just hope for the best.
Exactly, keep your fingers crossed. But you're right, don't disappear now.
Heat 16 coming up. Here's your lineup. Inside, Gino Manzarek for the USA. Danny King of Great Britain off 2 in yellow. Mats Janowski, they need some magic from him off gate 3 in blue. Winner Gafurov off the outside in white. 5 heats to go to decide who wins this race off and who goes through to the World Cup final.
Alan Rossiter looking on, he must be really, his stomach must be churning because it looked like it was slipping away from Team GB just a few races ago, and all of a sudden now they've got their noses in front. King is under massive pressure. He's up against a genuine world-class rider in Janowski.
4 heats ago, they were 6 behind Poland. Now they lead by a point.
Fantastic turnaround.
What can Danny King do here off gate number 2? He's made a good start, but so has Janowski. Now can King clamp the line for 2nd place? He's going hugely wide down the back straight. Oh! The battle is on here with Gafurov, the Russian. He's going to try and clamp the line on Danny King. King really needs to try and get through into 2nd because the pendulum will sway back in the favour of the Poles if it stays like this. Janowski with the lead, and as it stands, Poland will lead by 1 going into the nominated riders' races.
Yeah, great stuff from Janowski, no surprise there, showing great composure when the pressure's on. Danny King just getting a little bit, gave a lot of racing room there for Gafurov. Gafurov, he needs to try and hunt him down. King now moving to the outside, Gafurov. No,
King's going to the back!
Oh, he's made a big mistake! Oh, that's a big blow for Team GB.
Well, can King come back and get the better of Manzarek in red? He's going to try and swoop up the inside.
No.
Oh, is this a crushing blow for Great Britain? Danny King made a mistake and went wide. And now Poland all of a sudden have retaken the lead by 2 points with 4 heats to go. Drama here in Denmark.
Well, that's, you've got to feel for Danny King. Just ran too wide there in the pit corner, and it's a little greasy, and it pulled a big locker, lost all his momentum and allowed Manzarek to get up the inside of him. Janowski out in front. That's a major bit of good fortune there for the Poles. They'll be chuffed with that. They lead by 2 points now. 4 races to go. Still, anything could happen.
Well, good fortune, but Janowski rode a brilliant race there. Simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic ride. And Poland now have a 2-point cushion going into the nominated riders' races where the managers choose who goes where.
Well, Janowski, as you rightly say, Nige, he does the business. He does the hard yards out in front. Got to say, Danny King just finds it tough here. René Gafurov, who hasn't done very much this evening, comes up with a stunning ride here and picks up second place. And as a fact, hadn't scored coming into this race. And as though Danny King pushes him there, he leaves him enough racing room to enable the Russian to get the better of him. Janowski's out in front. And he's comfortable, he wins in fine style. But unfortunately for Team Great Britain and Danny King, he makes that fatal mistake, runs a little bit wide, just loses his momentum there, and you can see that allows the American Manzarek up into 3rd place. Team GB failed to score, and that is a big blow. You can see the frustration there from King. So much wanted to do the business, the momentum was with Team GB. Such a shame.
Yeah, it really was cruel. To be fair, it was the decision that Danny made to go wide that allowed Manzarek to come through. Janowski was brilliant, yeah. But it's things like that. I said a couple of races earlier, Kelv, no margin for error. And I have to say, unfortunately, that was an error by Danny.
Yeah, it was part of error, unfortunately. He went for a big blast and he went wider than everybody's gone. And clearly there must have been some water on the dirt out there, and it just locked up underneath him, and it killed his speed completely. And you got a feel for the lad. He didn't do it on purpose, but he did drop very valuable points there, and that allows the Poles. Marek Cieslak will be a touch relieved. It's still all on, but a couple of points in front. They'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, and very shortly we'll be down to the pits for the team managers' picks, and this is absolutely vital now who goes where with their selections. Great Britain 2 behind. It's still not over. I do feel, though, Kel, that is a crushing blow, Heat 16.
It is.
They've gone from a 1-point lead, and they can only use Woffington
deficit
once.
Yes, exactly.
They can only use Woffington once in these 4 heats.
It's going to be hugely important where you put your riders now. It'll be interesting to see how Alan Rossiter responds to the last 4 heats. Will he front load it? You know, often we see, you know, teams trying to get the points on the board early on in the last 4 races. So Woffington we may see him coming out in an earlier race rather than the Heat 20. But even so, it's going to be a big task. And some of these boys like Robert Lambert and Danny King would never have experienced this sort of pressure before, would they? No way. You know, Woffington, of course, has, and Harris has. They've been around some time, but for Lambert and King, this is new territory.
And whatever happens for Robert Lambert tonight, 7 points out of 9 from 3 rides.
Brilliant.
It's absolutely astonishing for,
it is.
for
it's
a 17-year-old.
And to win 2 races, Nigel, and win them, you know, it was a bit scruffy early on in his last ride, but he did a great job to come through and do that. And as I say, we've said it, it's such a shame we won't see him next Monday at Wolverhampton, but he will have learnt an awful lot here tonight.
Yeah, huge experience for him. Still waiting then for the team managers. We'll let you know just as soon as we can get down there for the team manager selections as the respective bosses make their decisions. Now, to talk us through the draw for the last 4 heats, Steve Brandon.
So Russia get to go first. So Andrei Savin has picked Rinat Gafurov to go in heat 17. He's put his number 3, Vitaly Balashov, out in heat 18. He's got a choice now of a rider or a space, so he's going to put Andrei Kudryashov in heat 19. And his non-rider is going to be in heat 20. So that's the Russians as they line up. Next to choose will be Billy Hamill, the 1996 world champion here. He's coming forward now with his American team, so he's going to look at leading off in heat 17 with the world champion Greg Hancock. His second choice, going to be the second most experienced man in his team, Ryan Fisher. He's going to put Gino Manzarek out in heat 19, who'll go off gate 1. And his last choice be the very young Max Rummel will go in heat 20. So 2 teams down. Now it's going to be interesting. Alan Rossiter, the Great Britain team manager, has some thinking to do. Maybe he's done it already. Hopefully he has. So he's going to lead off with the teenager. Robert Lambert is going to head off the British Challenge in the last 4 heats. He'll go off gate 1. He's then going to chuck in the World Championship leader, Ty Wolfenden, off gate 2, extremely fast tonight. Chris Harris, Grand Prix winner and Grand Prix rider with lots of experience. And lastly, Danny King will have to step up from that last ride. So he goes in heat 20 now. Leaders, Poland, had the joker thrown at them. So thinking time for Marek Cieślak. Przemek Pawlicki will lead the Polish challenge in the last 4 races off. He's putting some thought into this, Marek. He knows there's a lot to play for. Bartosz Marzlik, a Grand Prix winner. He's going to be up against Ty Wolfenden, the World Championship leader in heat 18. Krzysztof Buszkowski, who's coming to replace Jarek Hampel tonight. He's going to go in heat 19. And captain Maciej Janowski is going to finish the night off in heat 20 for Poland. So there we are, folks, the last 4 heats of the night. Kelvin, what do you make of the choices?
Oh, interesting. You know, got to say that Robert Lambert has been put in the first race. Huge responsibility on him. Wolfenden and Janowski have been kept apart, which is quite significant. Bartosz Marzlik is going to have to come up with something special against Wolfenden. It's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out. Difficult to call. I think quite clearly Poland are in the driving seat coming into the last 4 races. I think what's key to it is Chris Harris. If Harris comes up with a big ride, I think that could prove to be quite key to it.
But if it goes down to heat 20, I believe Cieślak has played a blinder with Janowski going off gate 3 in heat 20 in blue in a 3-man race, unless Russia make a change, but they've already used two tactical subs they've used already.
Alan Rossiter's going to have to just hope that Lambert, Wolfenden and Harris can do the business before
to take it to heat 20.
To get it to heat 20, because Danny King on paper, I think he'll find it tough against Janowski.
Yep. Well, will it go to the wire? We now know the lineup for the last 4 heats. A bit of track grading is just about to be completed, and we will have the last 4 heats for you. Poland favourites. It's going to take another dramatic twist, I think, for Britain to pull this off, Kelv.
Yeah, and they've done themselves proud, Team GB. They've hung in there when they've had to. Just no margin for error. I think you said that, didn't you, earlier on? And I do hope that doesn't, Danny King's mistake doesn't cost them a chance at the World Cup final. But it is tough speedway, and the way it's worked out, of course, Pawlicki overriding, they got points taken off them. But, and of course, Great Britain have used a joker as well, so Poland haven't had that opportunity. We see the lineups there. No rider, 3-man race for Janowski in heat 20 is spot on. That is an opportunity for them to seal the deal. So Team GB are going to do this. They're going to need Lambert leading off in heat 17 to pick up the win. Wolfenden looks like he can't be beaten this evening, so you've got to believe that he's going to get the better of Smarslik in heat 18. Buszkowski and Harris. Well, Harris has looked below par after Monday, where he was stunning. He hasn't reproduced that form here this evening.
Ollie Allen in the pits with the Team Great Britain side. He's supporting Robert Lambert there. What a big moment for the teenager now. He's up against Hancock and Pawlicki, and Gafurov can trap as well. So it's a big race coming up, heat 17.
It is indeed, and Robbie Lambert probably going to have to pinch himself a little bit when he looks at the blokes that are around him. He was off the inside gate. He was terrific last time. He's had 2 wins tonight. That is in itself a great effort. That fully justifies his pick, no question about that for the World Cup. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's fully deserved his place, and he will come on leaps and bounds for this World Cup campaign.
Heat number 17 coming up then here. 4 heats to go to decide who wins this Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup race-off been one of the best race-offs we've had for a number of years, I reckon.
Yeah, it's been great, and you know, with the twists and turns, particularly after heat 11, when all of a sudden the fireworks started going on, and then it went to 28 all. It really has been all sorts of action going on there, real drama and real tension. So yeah, with the 4 heats coming up, it's a grandstand finish.
Here we go, heat 17. Who will join the host nation Denmark, Sweden and Australia on Saturday here in Vojens? Robert Lambert off the inside in yellow for Great Britain, Renat Gafurov for Russia off 2, Greg Hancock gate 3 in red for the USA, and Przemek Pawlicki going off the outside in blue here for Poland. 4 heats to go. Poland favourites by virtue of the fact that they have a 2-point cushion going into these last 4, Kelvin.
Absolutely, yeah, they are favourites, and they've done very well to get themselves back in front. Lambert on the inside is going to have to come up with a stunner, because Hancock, who has had a difficult night, won last time, and he'll be pleased with that. Got to say that Pawlicki also is another class act and has ridden well this evening. So 17-year-old rider on the inside. What a moment for him.
Here we go. Huge moment in the World Cup, heat number 17. Oh. Now, can Lambert get to that first turn? He's just been beaten to it by the man in white, Gafurov. And now here comes up the inside Pawlicki for Poland. And with Lambert at the back, this will open up a 6-point cushion between Poland and Great Britain. But Hancock is challenging Pawlicki, and Lambert is going to push Gafurov all the way now.
Yeah, Lambert up into 3rd place. He just didn't quite get the getaway he would have liked. Pawlicki there out in front doing the business for the Polish team. This could well put them in the driving speed with 3 heats to go. Hancock trying awfully hard. But I say now Lambert has been putting pressure on Hancock in 2nd place. Can he do anything about that? He's lifting down the back straight. That kills his speed.
Yep, this would open up a 4-point cushion for Poland over Great Britain with 3 heats to go. Is that a bridge too far for Great Britain? Przemysław Pawlicki, still no doubt hurting from that disqualification a little bit earlier. This is a massive moment for Poland. That could be a huge step towards a World Cup final from Przemek Pawlicki in blue. Hancock 2nd and Lambert 3rd. And that means that Poland lead Great Britain now by a 4-point margin with only 3 heats to go.
Yeah, good ride from Pawlicki. He came under a lot of pressure from the world champion for a lap or 2 there, but the youngster from Poland got thrown out of a race for dangerous riding early on, very nearly throwing the bike away there in his celebration. Touch fortunate to stay on. Lambert not quite getting away as well as he would have liked that time, and although he tried hard in 3rd place, had no answers, and Pawlicki really stamping their authority here with 3 heats to go.
Pawlicki, Hancock, Lambert, Gafurov. Lambert has finished with 8 points from 4 rides in the race-off of the World Cup. Brilliant effort by the 17-year-old. Poland 40, Britain 36, USA 21, and Russia have 9. 4 points with 3 to go. Britain, though, have the chance to claw some back here if Woofenden can maintain his perfect record.
Well, I think this is the race that's going to be make or break for Britain. I think if Woofenden can win the race and Smarslick has some sort of drama, then who knows, we might well be able to put pressure on with 2 races to go. We'll see it again. Lambert just doesn't make a good getaway there. He almost has 2 bites at it. And he gets out trapped there by Gafurov going to the first corner. And that traps him on the inside. Pawlicki, great move again from him. They all drift wide and the door's wide open. And the Polish rider from the outside, who doesn't make a good start, makes a great decision in the first corner, wheels in line and gets himself to the front. Hancock has to shut the throttle off because otherwise he would have run in the back of Pawlicki. Early doors, the world champion puts the Polish rider under some pressure. But all credit to the youngster from the Poland. That was a good ride. Super ride, a ride that was much needed.
I've got to say as well, huge well done to the USA. They've been a great addition to the main event of the World Cup, if you like. Not just the qualifying rounds, but they've been over in Europe for the last couple of years now, and they've got a great tradition, haven't they? Going back to Bruce Pennell in the 80s, twice world champion, the late great Kelly Moran, Sean Moran, Dennis Sigalos,
Bobby Schwartz. Yeah. I mean, you can reel them off. Lance King, Sam Ermolenko. They just kept coming at you year after year. They have had some problems after Billy Hamill and Greg Hancock, but they've got some youngsters coming on.
Yeah, watch out for Brock Nicol, Max Rummel, Curtis Hamill, they're all coming through. Here we go with heat number 18, Bartosz Smarslik off the inside in blue for Poland. The unbeaten Ty Woffenden, the top man in the meeting so far, gate 2 in yellow for Great Britain. Vitaly Belushov goes off gate 3 in white for Russia, and Ryan Fisher is going off the outside in red for the USA. Great Britain need Woffenden to do the business yet again. He hasn't disappointed tonight. He has been absolutely sensational. Can he do it again? Off game number 2, Woffenden makes it look so easy. Woffenden has the lead. Now coming around the outside in white is Belushov, but Smarslik holds that second place for Team Poland, and this would just narrow the gap slightly, but perhaps not enough for Team Great Britain. It will be 3 points in Poland's favour.
It would indeed. Once again, Woffenden, textbook here, is going to go unbeaten. Look how far in front he is already. Smarslik had to be ruthless on the first lap. He slammed the door shut in front of Belusov down the back straight. Woffenden, barring any sort of mechanical drama, is going to win this by a street. Absolutely brilliant from the Brit out in front. Smarslik hanging on to it in second place, the Russian in third. But I've got to say, Ty Woffenden has been absolutely fabulous this evening.
Well, he's on the verge of a 21-point maximum on the circuit where he made his World Cup debut 7 years ago. For Great Britain in heat number 18 is a maximum man tonight. It's Ty Woffenden, 21 points for Team Great Britain. Hats off to Ty Woffenden, and he is in great shape going into the defence of his national title at Wolverhampton on Monday.
Is he? Tell you what, I don't know if the opposition will turn up when they've watched that. That has been an outstanding performance, 21 points, sensational bit of Speedway. Speedway out of the top draw from Woffenden, it's made it look very easy. It never is, but he's going to go around for a celebration lap, and rightly so. He's been outstanding this evening, Ty Woffenden. Really is quite special. When you see a rider in this form, it's a privilege to watch it, because he makes it look so good. He made the right call with the equipment, and all of a sudden he's making starts and retaining all the speed on track. Fabulous performance.
And Nicky Pedersen, who is second in the World Championship, is here tonight watching that.
Yes.
Interesting.
Making a phone call to his engine tuner this evening. We got trouble.
Woffenden, Smarslik, Belushov, the finishing order, 2 heats to go. And this is the standings now. Poland 42, Great Britain 39, USA 21 and Russia have 10. So Britain need to claw back 3 points on Poland in the last 2 heats if they are to go to a runoff for the World Cup final. Woffenden, absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, a great way to sum it up and describe it, because, you know, he was complaining about the fact that the bike was spinning up off the start earlier on in the evening, but they've made the right setup. Tough down the back straight there from Smarslik, slammed the door shut big time in front of Belusov. We saw that with Belusov, in actual fact, at Konechno when he was involved in that incident with Jarek Hampel. Seeing it again here, Smarslik was tough. He wanted to hang on to second place. That man, he's had no such trouble. He has shown a clean pair of heels to the opposition all night long. 21 points, can't do any better than that. And it's almost like a breeze in the park this
Just
evening.
another day at the office,
Another day at the office, 21 points. Well done, boys.
Yeah, brilliant effort. Heat 19 coming up then here. Great Britain have Chris Harris in the yellow helmet colour going off gate number 3. It's Buszkowski who's been hard riding. He's had a bruising night tonight, Buszkowski, for the Poles.
Yeah.
Manzera's off the inside, Buszkowski off 2, Harris off 3, Kudryashov off the outside in white. Don't forget, World Cup final Saturday night here in Vojens. Make it a date, 6 p.m. UK time. We're on Quest again on Saturday night in the UK. We'll be in Australia as well, the early hours of Sunday morning, wherever you are in the world. Hope you can join us for Saturday's Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup final. Here we go, heat number 19. Make or break here, and it's a good start from the man in blue, Krzysztof Buszkowski, and Chris Harris is in the mix, but has been squeezed out now, and Chris Harris is at the back. Now he's got to come through. He really has to charge hard around the outside. Harris has already got deep into the dirt, but he's not making much ground now. The lead is with Buszkowski. This will give Poland a place in the World Cup final if it stays like this, but Harris is having a go.
He is having a go, he's round the outside. Brzykowski's out in front, brilliant stuff from him. Harris desperately trying to get there. Oh! Total commitment from Harris to get himself into second place. Awfully close as they went over the start and finish line. Brzykowski's there though. Harris needs to do something very special. He's chasing down Brzykowski. Oh, he hits the fence, Brzykowski. How on earth did he do that?
Well, Harris really is digging deep here. It's still not going to be enough because Poland are heading through to Saturday's final.
Yep.
It's Krzysztof Brzykowski who's going to take the checkered flag.
He does it again.
And Chris Harris will never work harder for a second place. He really had to dig deep there. The Poles know the job is done. They have broken Britain's hearts here. They have a 4-point cushion with just a 1 race to go. It's been a heroic effort from Great Britain, but many congratulations to Poland, who are the winners of the race-off with a race to go.
Yeah, they've done it the hard way as well. At times they've made it difficult for themselves with overriding and exclusions, but to all intents and purposes, they've just had a little bit more quality at the crucial end of the meeting. And Brzykowski comes good. And as hard as Harris tried there, just did not have the answers. 45 to Poland, that sees them through. 41 to Great Britain, 21 for the USA and 11 points for Russia. But Poland were favourites for this evening. They've had it hard at times, really hard. Great Britain, all credit to them. They really have given them a fright at times this evening, but finally, the Poles have come through. We see it again. Great start out of gate 2 from Brzykowski. Superb from him. Harris not making starts this evening. He's tailed off in 4th place here. He has to work awfully hard as they come across the start and finish line there. There's not very much racing room there, is there? Very tight indeed for Harris. He gets into 2nd place and he sets about Brzykowski, but he just can't head the pole. And unfortunately for Chris Harris, just hasn't been his evening. Hasn't managed to win a race this evening, but that man has a little bit out of shape at times, clouting the fence, making it a little bit scarum for his team, but comes through in the end, sees his team through to the final.
Yeah, well done to Poland. Brilliant effort. And they've done it for Jarek Ampel, who's had a 5-hour operation on his badly broken leg, sustained in Gniezno last weekend in event 1 of the World Cup, where, bear in mind, they had to ride with a 3-man team then because of Hampel's injuries. And they went on and they got the 2nd spot. They're here tonight and they have won. Whether they can win on Saturday is completely different, of course, but I'm looking forward to Saturday night.
I am indeed, but now they can relax. The fact is that they've had the perfect practice for Saturday. They've raced here, which will be, to all intents and purposes, an advantage. And, you know, it's all very well being in the final, but you've had to hang around all week. You haven't been racing. These boys will be really sharp for Saturday, so interesting to see how the Poles go on Saturday night. I'm sure Janowski here, coming out, he'll want to finish in style.
Has been a great effort by Great Britain as well, inspired by Ty Woofenden. British final on Monday, British Grand Prix at Cardiff, first Saturday in July. He'll be in both those meetings, Woofenden. No rider off the inside, Rommel, Janowski, King. The final race of the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup race-off here at a sun-drenched Vojens in Denmark, and we don't say that very often, do we?
It's quite pleasant to hear those words here in Denmark, that's for sure. We've settled down for heat number 20.
Here we go, final race of the night, a very nervy, edgy start, but it's a good one from Janowski, the pole, in the blue helmet colour. Danny King now coming around the outside. He's got into the dirt, but not quite the speed to pass Janowski here, but he's having a go, Danny. He's going inside, and Janowski is hitting the outside line, and King is well and truly on the pace and having a go.
Yeah, he'll want to finish off. He'll want to put that ride he had previously where he made that mistake out of the back of his mind. Janowski made a good start, but Danny King showing good form in 2nd place. He's having a good go here. Tell you what, any mistake at all from Janowski, Danny King's going to be through alongside him, really going well in 2nd place. Max Rallowell in 3rd, not that too distant. Fair play to the youngster, but a good battle for 1st and 2nd here.
Yeah, full credit Danny King. The meeting's over to all intents and purposes, but he's having a real go here. Full credit to Danny King, but it's the last lap of heat number 20. Poland confirmed then as qualifiers for the World Cup final on Saturday after just getting the better of a brave British effort. It's Maciej Janowski for Poland, takes a checkered flag and moves them on to 48 points tonight, and they can now relax for the rest of the evening, knowing it's job done.
Well, yeah, it was for long periods of time, particularly after heat 11. it was not a foregone conclusion at all, and Team Great Britain coming back into it and really putting a lot of pressure on the Polish team. All credit to them. They've won the races at the back end of the meeting when they've really needed to. They'll be marginally relieved because at some stages this evening it didn't look like they were going to be able to put it off. When you've got a rider in the team that can score 21 points, that's always going to keep you in with a shout.
11 heat wins for Poland out of 20. Britain have won, 8? But it's Poland who've come through with a better all-round performance. But a heroic effort for Great Britain. Have to take our hats off to them, and I'm sure our British viewers are proud of the British boys tonight, particularly Woofy and young Robert Lambert. And the final score tonight in the race-off, Poland 48, Great Britain 43, USA 22, Russia 11. Get Saturday night in your diaries. Look forward to you joining us for that.
Det var en stor aften for en af kørerne, som der også lige blev sagt hernede hos os i.
Yeah, it's been a really good night at Speedway. The race-off has done itself proud. And no question that the Poles fully deserve to go through in the end. No wonder they're celebrating, because that's been a really good competitive night at Speedway. Janowski does finish in style, but all credit to Danny King. He gives it his all here. Keeps the top man from Poland very honest out in front. Janowski, who's only actually dropped 1 point himself, so he's enjoyed a really good night. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Poles perform on Saturday. This is racing is the perfect way to practice. The Poles are through. It's going to be one big night of Speedway on Saturday.
Yeah, good night at Speedway here. We've seen 1 or 2 crashes, refereeing controversies, decisions I think that the referee has done well with tonight.
Yeah.
A close contest for a large part of the meeting as well. It's just had a little bit of everything, Kel. It's been a good race-off.
Yeah, it has. It's there's been plenty to get excited about, to entertain us. So, yeah, it's been a really good night at Speedway.
Let's get some reaction with Steve Brandon.
Maciej Janowski, that was tough, but time for a smile now.
Yeah, no, it was very tough. England was so quick and ready for this, like we can say, small track. But yeah, we was a little bit scared after they used the joker. So, but I'm so happy we're in the final, and you know everything start again.
The whole of Great Britain, not just England. You guys did that for Jarek tonight.
Yeah, like you see here. This is for Jarek. I hope he will be quick. This will be quick recovery, and he come back to us soon, because this is the real captain. I'm just on the paper today, but this place, of course, waiting for him.
How much does it help the Polish team going into the final, having a whole race meeting practice?
You know, I don't know. I don't really know. Now I'm happy we was in race off, because, like I said before, I never raced here. Bartek never raced here, so we all have some experience now, and I think we can, like today, we can show a couple good hits, and I hope this will be good for fans, and on the end, good for us.
No practice tomorrow?
We will see. We must talk with coach, but I don't know. He is the boss.
Great job as captain tonight. Great job from all the boys. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Say hello to every Polish fans, and thank you.
Yeah, good night of work from Poland. Well done to them. Be interesting if they do practice tomorrow, but nothing like practice by riding in a meeting.
I think that racing is the ideal way to prepare. As I say, riders 48 points there. Great Britain 43. Great effort from Great Britain. Really did push them very hard with the USA on 22. But no, it's been a super night, and I just get the sense that it can sharpen you up racing on Thursday. You've got a day to recover, get the equipment all washed and tidied up and prepped for the big final on Saturday. And you feel really comfortable. You must feel comfortable, particularly if you've had a good evening. And Denmark, of course, they've got a great lineup for Saturday. It's a smashing lineup. The 4 teams in it, really strong. It's going to be a fantastic night, a feast of Speedway for us on Saturday night. I'm sure the World Cup will not disappoint. And I've thoroughly enjoyed this evening, in actual fact. I think it's been a super night of Speedway. One or two really good performances. Ty Wolfenden, quite clearly the outstanding performer on the night. He is the rider of the night, effectively. 21 points, that's quite stunning. But Janowski and his men have seen themselves through, albeit Team GB really giving them a few frights along the way.
Well, still waiting for the Polish side to come round. Take the applause. A lot of people have made their way out of the stadium tonight now here in Vojens, but yeah, a very enjoyable night of Speedway, and I'm sure this place is going to be absolutely packed on Saturday.
Well, the Grand Prix here last year was heaving, wasn't it? And here, the World Cup final with the home team, I'm sure it will be very well attended indeed. Vojens is the spiritual home now for Speedway in Denmark, and people love coming to here. And it's a good Speedway track. It's really is a test. It's technical, it's challenging in that regard, and there's no doubt that it will provide some really good stuff. Before the strength of the teams coming into Saturday night, it's going to be a real fight out there. And I'd say Denmark are favourites, but I'm sure there's going to be a few surprises in store for us.
Looking forward to Saturday night. Should be a great night of Speedway.
Yeah, Magic was exactly that this evening, Janowski. He led from the front. He played the captain's role, so he did a great job. Byskovski, of course, was superb coming in to replace Hampel, just dropping 1 point himself. Smarslik was their weakest rider, who only actually ended up winning one race, but scored in every race. Was very determined. But Ty Wolfenden, I mean, like his riding tonight, it was just extraordinary how much speed he had. It was just like he was on a different level to everybody.
Nice evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here in Vojens tonight. See you.
Looking forward to Saturday then. People making their way out of the stadium, but the Poles aren't going anywhere. They're quite happy to stick around for a while.
It's a lovely evening.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's beautiful. Might not get dark for quite a while now, Kelvin. Well, the Great Britain captain, Ty Wolfenden, is with Steve Brown.
Ty Wolfenden, you can't do better than score 21 points yourself, but so close for Great Britain yet so far.
It is what it is, you know. I've got a phone call that I need to make this week. To somebody in the BSPA and have a good chat about how we're going to do things going forward. You know, I really want them to get behind us, and from the emails that I've seen, you know, last month, they're pretty interested, you know, and that's great for us as a team, you know, for Team GB, Team England, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you know, I really want to work hard, and like I've said it before, you know, it's a 5-year plan, and we're going to keep building from there. This is Rob's first World Cup. You know, we've got more kids coming through. You know, Kyle's young, he just needs a good winter training, and, you know, he'll be on fire next year.
When a guy puts as much in off the track and on the track and is a world champion, people have to listen, right?
I hope they do, you know. I want what's best for Team GB, and, you know, I'll do everything in my power to make things happen. But, you know, if they'll back me, then that's great, and if they don't, then maybe it's time to hang this little bad boy up.
I mean, they're strong words, and it's very emotional straight after a meeting, think like that. We'll move on from the World Cup. We'll think about the Grand Prix for a minute. Cardiff coming up. Your performance was awesome today. You must be very happy with where you are in the season so far.
Yeah, real happy. You know, I'm riding well. Johnsy's preparing me perfect engines, and, you know, my mechanics and team are working hard. Faye's doing a good job at home with all the stuff that she does, because, you know, if I didn't have her to help me out, I'd be pretty lost. So, you know, I've got a good team around me. Pete calls me every week to see how I'm doing, which is cool, and yeah, it's all going well. You know, I got the British Championship coming up Monday at Wolverhampton, one more green, so head down to that and come and watch. It'll be a cracker.
And another charity bike ride coming into Cardiff?
Yeah, you know, we're not far off the 100 grand target, and you know, I'd love to you know, support them as much as possible, and there's so many fans getting behind me, and I can't thank them enough. You know, it really means a lot, and yeah, we're almost there, so it'll be big at Cardiff.
Tough luck tonight. We'll see you in 3 weeks at the Grand Prix. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Interesting words from Ty, Kelvin.
Yeah, quite forthright in his feelings there. Quite clearly wants a backing, or he might well be off, and that would be a desperate situation. So I do hope that his chats with the BSPA prove to be fruitful. But see the lineup there. We're now at the final stage. Denmark, Sweden, Australia and Poland. That is going to be some night of Speedway. It's a shame Team GB couldn't quite manage to do it, but that's a very strong lineup for Saturday.
Robert Lambert is with Steve Brandon.
Robert, your first World Cup experience, how was it?
Oh, you know, it was awesome. You know, I mean, to do a good job, half good job at King's Lynn. You know, that was great. And you know, we had practice today, and all went good. And Roscoe kept with the same team. You know, and yeah, you know, we all put in 110%. You know, and that's really good. What's going on? You know, and yeah, we try the hardest, and that's all we can do. You know.
I mean, from where I was watching, that was more than a half good job. That was a very good job. But for you to get this experience at this age and development part of your career, fantastic opportunity.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, why I say half job? You know, I touched the tapes, maybe a little. You know, the nerves got to me a little bit. You know, and a bit of pressure. But you know, I managed to sort of get my head around it after that, and go out and you know do another few solid performances. And yeah, you know, it was great to come here today and do a good job.
To win 2 races in a World Cup race-off says a lot about where you're going to go in Speedway. You must have some big ambitions from here.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, this year's been, you know, going so quick. You know, I mean, I've been sort of doing a lot of big meetings this year. So you know, we worked really hard in the winter. You know, with my training and obviously the equipment, and you know, come across a few new sponsors which helped along the line. You know, and you know, that's really great. You know, and to do big meetings like this really, you know, give me new experiences, and yeah, just can't wait to what's happening, you know, in the future for me, and yeah, just hopefully that'll take me up to bigger things, you know, and yeah, hopefully next year we'll get in the British final.
Well done on a full good job. Thanks for your time.
Nice, cheers. Thank you.
Okay, interesting stuff tonight. Kelvin, thanks for your company as always, and we'll see you on Saturday night for the World Cup final. A glorious sun-drenched evening in Vojens Speedway Centre, Denmark, for the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup race-off. Who will join the host nation Denmark, Sweden and Australia on Saturday night, 48 hours from this race-off? Baking hot night, perfect conditions, Team Great Britain up against Poland as the 2 favourites to win the meeting, and the USA and Russia depleted by the absence of a rider, which meant they only tracked 3 on the night. Plenty of patriotic British support that have made the journey across from the UK to support Team Great Britain, and Ty Woffenden laid a marker down with a perfect start in heat number 1. The World Individual Championship leader with a clever switch up the inside, and Woffenden certainly proving to be a sign of things to come. He was simply breathtaking throughout the course of the night. Poland were able to build up a head of steam. They look good, they look sharp. 17-year-old Robert Lambert, though, for Great Britain, won his first race in breathtaking style. There were crashes, controversy, but thankfully nobody was hurt. Drama here, but the riders were okay to walk away from that one. Referee well and truly involved on more than one occasion. The jokers coming into play, initially though, for the USA and also for Russia, and they were never in contention for the top of the pile. It was all about world rankings. Great Britain just held in there. They used Woffenden as a tactical substitution and a joker. They came in, he got 6 points, and with Przemek Pawlicki disqualified for foul riding, Great Britain pulled it back level, and all of a sudden they were well and truly in contention thanks to Woffenden's tactical ride win in heat number 12. But later on in the meeting, Poland stamped their authority. Too many race winners. They'd won it with a race in hand, and it's Poland who go through to Saturday's World Cup final.